Let's drill down on the fact that there goes the Daverhood. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Oh, that was some good vocal work for me there.
You did something with the drums. Look at it. Looks like the drums were in a hurricane.
Oh, yeah, well, they kind of got knocked over during the New Year's show and never got properly righted. But you'll do that. That's my darling and adorable wife, Joyce, over there. And over here is my darling and adorable me, Dave Lefkowitz, doing the 926th episode, excuse me, of the Dave's Gone By, Facebookio, Podcastio, the chicken, Programmio, boom, boom, of the stream. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, don't chicken out, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for our 926th episode of this program that mixes humor and talk and interviews and just nonsense for about 2 or 3 hours every Saturday morning Eastern time here in the Daverhood. We've been on, honest to God, in some way or other since October of 2020. No, what am I saying? 2002.
That's great.
2002. We went on the air on Long Island radio, terrestrial radio. Since then, we've been on college radio. We've been on streaming audio services. And over the past 6 or 7 years, we have been doing this as a video podcast live on Facebook and then archived. So what am I eating? Oh, I'm kissing. All right, shall we talk about Mission? Well, let me intro the show and then we'll talk about the week. Okay, it wasn't a bad week. It was not a bad week at all, ladies and gentlemen. I hope it wasn't. I hope it was a good week for you as well. On this episode of the program, you picked a good one to tune into because not only do we have our usual pointless nonsense, we also have, first of all, a guest. We have a cabaret singer slash songstress slash warbler, and her name is Marissa Mulder. She's been kicking around the New York cabaret circles for about 10, 15 years now, has won a couple of MAC awards, or at least one MAC, which is the Manhattan Association of Cabarets and Clubs, and she'll be appearing at Don't Tell Mama again on January 25th, and I think she has another show due in March. What?
We're gonna go there today.
We can't. We gotta go to the other.
Oh, well, why don't we stop there on the way back? No?
We could. Yeah. Well, Joyce and I, while we're doing the show, we're also figuring out what we're going to do today and what Dave gets to eat.
No, but they have it says here.
We're checking Mission Barbecue in case you haven't yet.
An herb rub, smoked and carved to order. It's a smoked strip steak.
Okay, sorry, folks. You want to do Mission Barbecue? Let's talk about Mission Barbecue first, and then we'll get to it. I want to let you know that
They baked sweet potato, loaded with honey butter, brown sugar, and cinnamon.
Remember, I asked it if it was a sweet potato, and it said yes, I am. Anywho, Marissa Mulder, you're going to be on the program, talking with the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Sal Solomon. Oh yeah. So that's definitely a twosome you do not want to miss. And Rabbi Sal is doing double. Joyce is, you're showing me pictures of gorgeous me. I'm just going to end the show.
You lost the bumper sticker they gave you.
I know. Must have fallen out of my pot. Look, this is today's. This is the new one.
You're going to you'll get it.
I'll have to eat it today. Oh God.
Well, what we'll do is we'll get your.
This is what she's showing me. Oh, this looks even better. I hate to say, even better than that prime rib.
Well, you ate that like 70 times last month.
All right, so let's talk Mission Barbecue. All right, I'll tell you what else is on the show, and then we'll talk Mission Barbecue. Because we got to talk Mission Barbecue. Okay. Marissa Mulder talking to Rabbi Sal, who is also going to offer a rabbinical reflection. These are one of his mini sermons that he does. He did a long one on New Year's Eve. He hasn't done them in a while before that. But he's got a new one today where he's telling brand new Jewish jokes from Rabbi Sal on his rabbinical reflection. That is coming up as well. Also, Greeley Times, we do that every single week. which is based on real phone calls that come into the Greeley and Weld County Police Department in Colorado. The local newspaper collates the funniest ones. And there they go. That's the cue for the phone calls that come in. And then we'll have Bunion Watch, because I know what kind of show is this? Where you just basically look at my bunions, the big one on my right foot, the smaller one on my left foot. And sometimes it just occurs to me how incredibly stupid this is. And we may even measure my bunions today. Oh, it might be a special morning. And then our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. Yes, we're going to a place I know you've never heard of called Animas Forks. It's a real place in Colorado. Joyce and I lived in Colorado for a bunch of years, and so while we were there, I was reading the Greeley Tribune. That's where Greeley Times came from, and also Limerick of the Damned. I just got it into my head to write really horrible, disgusting, risque limericks about every place in Colorado that I could. I'm still writing new ones, even though we're now in Maryland. But I will. But today we go to Animas Forks. Oh, and if there's, I don't even know if we're gonna have time for Dave's Big Dictionary. I might have to.
Oh no, we got it. Where is it?
Oh, I think the book is in my. I forgot to bring it in. It's probably back on my desk.
I'll go get it. We'll do it now.
On my back desk in my office. Dave's Big Dictionary is a segment where Joyce, my wife, will thumb through randomly, not looking, the pages of the Webster's Dictionary, and her finger will alight on a word. Well, somewhere on a page, and generally there's a word on a page because it'd be a dictionary. And then my job as the host of this program is to talk about that word in some fashion, whatever it brings to mind. Could be an anecdote, could be whatever is called up into old Dave's brain by that word. We have no time to do this today because I want Rabbi Saul to do that. That's for next week. We'll hold, or the week after, because next week's my birthday show, but we'll see. Yeah, we got a book also. And we have so much stuff.
Okay.
But Joyce is holding the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, new edition. Not that new, it's probably a couple of years old.
Where to stop.
All right, so she's randomly paging, laying her thumb go through
Read,
it.
honey,
I need a
about the
beverage.
garlic rub steak, I know. And you're getting your pants. It's a really win-win day. Pants and steak. Be careful, be careful.
I was gonna
What?
I was gonna
David.
I was gonna gargle. Pardon me. Yeah, no. And that was the worst idea.
Coffee?
No, it's seltzer.
Okay.
I wanted to cut the phlegm.
No, don't gargle.
I got morning phlegm, folks, don't you?
Pick.
Oh, let's calm down. All right. Joyce is thumbing through a dictionary. Keep going. And at some point, she's going to put her finger down. Not now, not yet. Not yet. She's keeping thumbing. She's thumbing. And when I tell her, she will put her thumb or finger down on the now.
Okay, pyrolysis.
What?
A chemical change caused by the reaction of heat. It's right above pyromania. So pyrolysis. And it's funny, I was just watching that show where the guy set the thing on fire.
Well, yeah, but is it PY?
pyrolysis. Pyrolysis.
Pyrolysis.
Chemical change caused by the reaction of heat.
Really? I can't change the word. That's the word. That's the rule. The rule of Dave's Big Dictionary is that Joyce finds a word.
Maybe your guest, if she dances or sings, will generate some heat.
Well, she's got flaming red hair.
Yeah.
So that would do it. She's got the heat.
Her hair was influenced by
It's pyrolysis, not paralysis. That's a different word. It's a pyrolysis. Oh my God.
Pyro is heat, like pyromania.
Yeah. Oh God. That's where they got Prilosec, except they switched the R and the Y.
Yeah, but Prilosec would cut down the heat.
Right, it's for heartburn. So that is burning heart. You cut that down. But then it would be Pyrolysis, which nobody would be able to pronounce. All right, thank you for that. That's Dave's Big Dictionary. We'll later on in the program, if I have any mind left, I'll have to talk for a couple of minutes about whatever the action of pyrolysis, where heat causes a change in something,
A change caused by heat.
or change, or the change itself.
So for example,
Yeah.
like let's say you want to make pancake batter, it's disgusting. But after you do pyrolysis, it's delicious. Right? Or it could be like a chemical
wanna do it?
reaction. No.
Why?
Because it's your job. It's Dave's big dictionary, not mine. It's your show, that's your segment.
All right. Pyrolysis. All right, I will try later in the show. That's something to look forward to. If you aren't already looking forward to Bunion Watch,
I know.
if you aren't already looking forward to Greeley Times, if you're not already looking forward to the Limerick Animas Sports, or to Rabbi Saul doing his sermon, or talking to Marissa Mulder. Lots of stuff on the show today. But first and foremost, beyond the Bunions, beyond the criminality of Greeley, beyond the lyricism of my beautiful poetry, or Marissa Mulder singing, there's a restaurant that I like to go to. I like to go to there.
Do you want the picture of their new special first, or do you want? Here's the new special. Show them that.
Yeah. All right. This is so. Well, let me explain to you, because for several weeks, Dave was in heaven, not hog heaven, actually beef heaven, because Mission Barbecue, which is a chain restaurant, kind of a fast foodie restaurant around this part, that specializes in ribs and smoked meats, brisket, ribs, smoked turkey, a couple of other, and the usual sides like the yam and the salted caramel. No, it's about the meat, about ribs either on the bone or more Chinese style spare ribs, and a couple of other meat sandwiches, pulled pork,
Here's that picture.
that kind of thing. All right, so
You can stretch it.
Joyce is saying I can stretch it and make it big, but that's later tonight. So for several weeks before the new year, like around Christmas and the holiday,
Yeah.
their Black Plate Special, which
Tell
is
people what that is if they don't know.
Yeah. an item that they add to the menu for a brief amount of time. 6 weeks, so
Oh.
usually 4 to 6 weeks, that costs less than usual of what they would normally charge, and they don't always have it on the menu. And it's usually something pretty special. Once or twice it wasn't. Once or twice I had shrimp.
Shrimp, and you weren't. Meatloaf didn't rock your world.
No, they were perfectly good. But if I'm going to go to a place like this, if I'm going to go to a place called Mission Barbecue, I don't want a friggin' cheeseburger. I mean, but everyone's.
I want to get one of their baked yams, and I could have everything on the side.
You could.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they advertise that too.
So we can grab it.
They have cinnamon, whatever you want to put it on.
Well,
on
butter.
it. They have
Yeah.
butter, cream cheese. That would be like a cinnamon, like a yam.
I yam what I
Wait,
yam,
wait.
and what I yam is my own special creation. I bang my own drum. Anyway, I'm actually using that song in my class this semester. Anyway, so I'm going to dress in women's clothes and sing it for everyone.
Well, I'll play the drums, but it has to be in a day I'm not teaching. So
There. So
it's
for
garlic and.
well, that's the new Black Plate, but the old Black Plate Special for several weeks was their prime rib, which is not the greatest prime rib ever, but it's damn good. And much less expensive, literally about half the price of prime rib that you would get in Outback or any of the other local places that have it.
That's very true.
So every week, Old Dave was there,
But that's not what you're going to show them.
No, I'm telling them the prior experience and how worried.
And you go there every weekend, right? Every Saturday you're there.
Yes.
Okay, just so you know.
Yes. Saturday or Sunday. We sometimes mix the days. But
Switch it up. Keep it real,
But it's my reward because Joyce likes to shop and go to certain. I like to shop at some of the other stores and things like that. But at the end of it, when we have to do our grocery shopping, so that's like a pain in the butt. But when that's over, it's like it's Dave's moment. It's my time to run to Mission Barbecue and get the prime rib, at least for a few weeks. But I knew, as with everything dies, everything goes away, all great things come to an end. And we were asking, how much longer is is the prime rib on the menu? And they're like, well, yeah, it'll be shortly after the new year. We have to do it comes from corporate, they're told what the next special is. And this gives me great anxiety and sadness because it could end up being another cheeseburger, right? Meatloaf again. But they told me weeks ago, they said, well, no, we know it's another steak.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and we just don't know which one. But we know, yeah, it's going to be another steak. And I looked the young server in the eye and they said, yes. Yes, it is.
Somebody in high school is making their wage, just trying to be
I said,
food server.
And you will live. But anyway, and their new black plate special, which came in after the holiday, after all the New Year's stuff, is apparently smoked strip steak. 3 words that are fantastic, even apart. Smoked, oh yeah, strip, hello, and steak, yeah. Let's read the garlic and herb rubbed, as you said, smoked and carved to order, and seared and served with garlic butter.
Oh, you love garlic butter, David. That's your fave.
So I wasn't getting
garlic butter.
I love garlic, I love butter. 2 other words that go.
Okay, let's bring up the pictures of you destroying the last thing here.
Well, what happened was earlier this week, much earlier, basically last weekend, Joyce and I realized, well, look, we know another steak is coming, but this is going to be your last chance to have the smoked prime rib. And so let's go, better go get it, better enjoy it, better have it now. But, and God bless Mission Barbecue for this, they had sent us in email, holiday, like for holidays and stuff, you're on their list. It's like, hey, happy holidays from Mission Barbecue. Here's a coupon for a free sandwich. I got one. Joyce got one, even though she's been a vegetarian for 15 years. And it's like, she signed up so I could get the sandwich, right? So and you have to understand how this woman eggs me on. She's like, well, yeah, you got get the free sandwich, use them before the holidays.
So this is me. I'm always my disappointment in life is when I miss a deadline. It makes me crazy. So sometimes in Kohl's, like I miss it by 3 days. They're like, oh, after 1 day, we would have given it. And sometimes when I go shopping, I have a coupon or something, and it just expired, and it makes me crazy. So I said, let me go through my pocketbook, and I had 2 of them, and they expired on that same day.
I thought it was running till February.
No, and we were heading there anyway.
Yeah. I was confusing it with coupons I'm starting to get for my birthday from other places, but this was only good for like the Christmas, New Year holiday.
It was like January 7th or 8th. Something.
But Joyce is not only pushing me for that, she's like, Dave, get the sandwiches, they're free, and on the same day, make sure you get a prime rib too.
It's the last day. It was the last day.
And I was like, you come on, I can't be that. What's the word? Not profligate. I can't be that.
But you're getting 2 free, so
and I have to put stuff in the fridge. And she's like, Dave, get the prime rib, gosh. So I'm like, okay, because you don't really have to convince me that much.
You didn't need much. You were like, yeah, that's good. Let's do it.
So I go in, and I think it was Monday we went in, or no, it was Sunday. It was Sunday we went in there, and I say, okay, let me have the last time prime rib, and they're like, no, there was no longer listed on the black plate special. They were out of it.
Oh, okay.
That was it. They were making the changeover, and for a day or two, or for whatever reason, the prime rib was gone.
Can you imagine being that cook? I mean, I know cooks learn new specials all the time, but that's a big thing.
Well, no. What, one new dish every 8 weeks? I mean, I would hope a cook could manage it, But here's the deal. So on a certain level, I felt disappointment, but it's hard to be that disappointed when you're getting 2 free meat sandwiches from Mission Barbecue, right? So, like, fine, let me take the meat sandwich. I looked on the board. There isn't that much of a variety. So, like, definitely the ribs off the bone sandwich, or brisket as they call it. Was it brisket?
You should have gotten. There was also a chopped brisket you should have gotten.
I know, but chopped brisket is probably like what? It's probably a hamburger, isn't it? And then I said, I never tried their pulled pork. Let me try your pulled pork. So, because Joyce got a sandwich, I got a sandwich. Free. and they give it to us, and the pulled pork was very, very good. Pulled pork, though, is never going to be ribs or brisket. It's just not. No matter what the sauce is, pulled pork is yummy, and they give you a big heaping pork sandwich. But they also gave me a brisket sandwich. I think this is actually me eating the pulled pork or something.
There's a whole bunch of them. Let me see. I think that's brisket.
Oh, that might be brisket. This is me tonguing the brisket. What?
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. Well, let me see what we got here. Oh, I gotta shrink it down again.
Want me to do it?
Hold on. There we go. Oh, that's me kissing, filleting the brisket sandwich. This is, I'm not even.
The vacuum.
This is where the brisket sandwich fillets me, I guess. I don't know. This is me happy eating.
You're chewing. See, you're chewing the.
Well, funny, I don't look Jewish. And then, I'm not sure. I look like a moose. No, I'm not showing that. But look at the joy and wonder in my eyes.
Behind you, the tray in front of you.
Yeah, actually, that could be mistaken for Colorado right there.
One sandwich in your hand and one on your lap.
That's the way it's supposed to be. All right. So those are the images of me conquering my terrible disappointment that the prime rib was no longer on the menu, but consoling myself with pulled pork and brisket. It was tough. It was sad.
I know.
But I got through it.
You cried for 1 second and then you were fine.
So
you know what happens when they cook raw meat?
What happens when they cook raw meat? Oh, well, pyrolysis happens?
Yeah.
How?
Because what do you do when you're barbecuing?
Oh, a good way. I thought you were going to say like diarrhea or something. No, you cook the raw meat.
Yeah,
sure. Yes, it becomes tasty and yummy and delicious.
They get up to do pyrolysis. Yeah.
Why did it come into my head for no reason, one morning, because I was going to do that. Joyce going to sneeze. So it isn't. I just thought it would be funny to have a restaurant that served pasta with chunks of raw puma. I don't know why that occurred to me.
Puma's an endangered species.
Yeah, well, raw or cooked. Yeah, but just the idea of having puma on the menu.
You can have an endangered species.
Yeah. Anyway, why does anything come into my head? Here's the deal. The other thing that came into someone's head. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me. This is another picture here. We were shopping either in Home Goods or Kohl's or one of those, or not the other one. What's the Marshalls, etc. And taking a spin around.
Oh, I know what you're gonna show.
Because you like to look at the clothes. I kind of like to look more at the kitchen gadgets and implements and things like that. If you had a company that was making blenders, toasters, things like that, what would you call it? KitchenAid. Great name for KitchenAid. You see it their first day on that. Well, nobody even trusted who it was. KitchenAid. It must be good, right? Waring. I don't know why. It must have been the company family name. I know. I hope it won't wear out. But Waring blenders. Who else makes Food Chef? Julia Child brand.
G&E.
Yeah, right. Genie. Funny, nobody says GE. Oh, GE. Yeah.
Black & Decker makes a lot of
Black & Decker, right? So yeah. So we're going through the store and I see a blender.
Ninja is like a new one.
What does it do?
Yeah, Ninja. It's like yeah.
Brilliant marketing thing if they put that on home shopping and stuff.
Yeah.
Here's a blender. What is it called? Oh, it's the Ninja. You remember it instantly.
It can chop ice. Yeah, it can chop stuff. Yeah.
Please explain to me how. In Home Goods, I think it was. There's a company that makes stuff that works with food, that mashes, chops, blends food. This is real. There it is. I hope you all can see it. The company.
You look so happy there.
Well, because there's a blender made by a company called SMEG.
I think it's a high end. I think it's high end.
Well, it's near the tip.
No, I think it's expensive.
If you don't know what smegma is, ladies, look it up. or or look under the hood. It's this bacterial,
This is what it says in the UK, smeggy.
bad, foul, inferior. Why? Smeggy is an adjective because it has to do with the stuff that grows under an uncircumcised man's foreskin. Not that I would know this for myself, but even Monty Python had named a woman Mrs.
Wow,
Smegma.
no, it's expensive. It's at Williams and Sonoma.
Wait.
Their toasters are $200.
Is is it an imprint of Williams or is it sold at Williams and Sonoma? Smeg.
$200. Here, I'm gonna.
Why? Can you look up the company and where it got its name from?
It says it's.
SMEG, Smeg.
I just had to deny. I didn't want.
Oh.
It says okay, review all products.
Yeah. I mean, would you use a toaster and smear something on it if the bread came out of a Smeg?
Company
Yeah,
about us.
about us. Our uncircumcised founder.
Let me put it.
Oh.
Yeah, click on.
Oh no. Does anybody out there, if you want to post on Facebook and let us know if you own a piece of Smeg equipment? Do you own a Smeg blender,
It must be really
a
good.
Smeg air fryer? I don't know, a Smeg slow cooker is somehow the most disgusting of all.
Oh, it says founded in 19. This makes. I don't understand.
You've never heard of this, right?
Founded in 1948 by Vittorio Bertazzoni as an enameling and metalwork company. Oh, for Smeg iron. That's probably what it was. Yeah.
What is Smeg iron?
Smeg is like a product of iron ore, I think.
I've never heard of that,
Yeah,
really?
It says SMEG preserves the memory of originally carried out. Oh, it's the acronym.
Oh.
This was the name. Smalmierte Metallurgica Emilian Metallurgical Enameling Works Gustalia. That's what SMEG stood for.
Well, okay, now it makes
You could read it
sense.
better.
And back in Italy, when they found it, we have no idea.
It was in the UK, but he didn't, you know.
Yeah, founded by metalwork, the SMEG. Although when they say the SMEG company, it's just capital S, small MEG. They're not
Yeah,
using
yeah.
it as an acronym. Smalteri Metallurgiche et Emiliane Gustalia, whatever.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Let me look.
I
I
get
think
it.
SMEG iron is like when it's part of iron.
Now I wonder if there's this thing that kind of comes off iron that you throw away, sort of like when you
Oh, they're
scrape.
Italian. That's why it says what's so special about them.
Yeah.
Durability, safety, flexibility, and they're attractive. They're Italian.
Yeah. All right.
It's a high-end brand.
Wow. How did we go all our lives without knowing this, without hearing
It
about
says
this?
they began doing in Reggiano Emilia in Italy,
Yeah.
and they began washing machine.
Really?
Yeah, they did all sorts of stuff, and then they sponsored a Formula One team.
Yeah, I don't know what their formula is made from.
Oh, they began doing stuff for delicatessens. Maybe that's right.
Oh, what do you mean? Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I
Cafes,
got it. Yeah.
You know, like stoves. Oh, this is what we normally see. That fridge, that iconic fridge, is a SMEG fridge.
That's
Yeah, here.
even just you're saying it. Oh, look, here's an iconic SMEG fridge.
I'm trying to tell you what you asked.
It's, and by the way, iconic.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Did they call it that, or did you just
No,
call
I
it?
think it's iconic because, like, when they do the makeovers on houses and stuff,
Yeah.
that shape is very.
Oh,
well-known,
okay. Yeah.
What's that? Oh, they made a denim fridge. Wow. It says entirely covered in denim. They could do
As smegma can sometimes be, depending on the pants you wear. I'm just running with the smeg thing, as you can see. I just love the idea. I mean, now it really does make sense, and yet it's like, yeah.
It's the secret of the SMEG fridge. Right?
Yeah. No, I'm listening. Oh, I'm listening.
I'm reading.
The secret of the smeg fridge.
Oh, Graham and Wallace had one.
Who's Graham? Ramen, what?
Graham and Wallace, the little characters.
Oh, Wilson, they had a smeg fridge? How did I miss this?
This is what it says. I don't know. I'm learning.
Did it have the letters on
Yes,
it?
it has the letters really branded.
How did I miss that on Wallace and Gromit? I don't know. Anyway, that was another
See,
really,
their
really,
stuff is really beautifully designed, right?
yeah, okay, it's Italian. I mean, I look best in Italian clothes. There's something about the way Italians make things that is kind of like, woohoo, you know? Italian suits, Italian shirts, they always look somehow the best on me. And
Give me
Italians,
$150 mini kettle.
really? Really? Maybe not. Maybe.
Let's go back to Home Goods and see how much that thing was.
Yeah, well, it's probably $150. It was not a cheap knockoff. Yeah, if SMEG make a popcorn maker, that'd be $60. You know, instead of 14. Yeah, SMEG.
They call them retro.
Oh, all right, fine. Well, they started in 1948, you said, or 41, something like that. Anyway, you're watching Dave's Gone By, the 926th episode of the show, with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wonderful wife Joyce, and all of you watching at home. What have you missed so far? Well, you've missed all my talk about Mission Barbecue and talking about SMEG. Joyce also chose the word that will be part of Dave's Big Dictionary later on in the show. It's going to be pyrolysis. Thank you so much for that. And coming up on the program, Greeley Times, Colorado Limerick of the Damned for Animas Forks. Well, I just want to say like Oculus Prime or something. And then Bunion Watch, can't forget about Bunion Watch, Rabbi Saul Solomon's rabbinical reflection of new jokes, as well as Rabbi Saul chatting with Marissa Mulder, the cabaret songstress, who is going to be at Don't Tell Mama. When is that? Sure, I hope I wrote that down. Did I? Yes, Sunday, January 25th. That can't be right.
What?
It's January 25th, all right. But if my birthday is on the 23rd, which is Tuesday, 24th is Wednesday, 25th is Thursday. I think it's January 25th. Everybody Google that. Oops. Apologies. So, what else? What else do we want to mention? Speaking of things, now, again, I don't know how Joyce and I, and probably you, have lived so many years without ever hearing of the company called SMEG that makes kitchenware and appliances. How? Considering that I'm an Anglophile, considering that I grew up watching Monty Python and as much British comedy as I possibly could, would tune into Benny Hill on Channel 9 all those years ago, just was in love with all things culturally and specifically comedically British, and followed it all the way through. And then as I got a bit older, I have no idea how I missed a character named Mr. Blobby.
Oh.
How did this completely escape my attention? Even if I didn't know the program that he came from, which I still don't, how did I not know that this happened on British television? This happened.
Oh, you're dressed in pink for Blobby?
Right, pink for Blobby and also pink for our guest is redheaded, so you know, and Rabbi Saw is the red thing. But look, I'm closer to Blobs.
Yeah. Tell him what he does. He's not a good Blobby.
Well, the thing, Blobby, this thing, who by the way was invented 30-something years before Gritty, the Philadelphia Flyers mascot. You just can't look away, can you?
That's when he's doing nice stuff. He's normally a bad boy.
Well, they invented him. What was the name of the British show he was on? It was like this British TV host, comedy kind of guy. It was the National Show or some kind of whatever. And they brought on this creature in a big old uniformy costume thing. Called Mr. Blobby. Oh yeah, thank you for that.
You want the backstory?
Noel's house party. I couldn't remember Noel's.
Sort of Noel, like the guy from The Big Show.
But it's not. It's a different Noel. Created by Charlie Adams, a writer for the show. Mr. Blobby is a bulbous pink figure covered in yellow spots with a permanent toothy grin and green jiggling eyes. He communicates only, this is true, he communicates by saying the word blobby
Yeah.
Blobby, Blobby, Blobby,
His Twitter
Blobby,
account basically is him just saying Blobby.
Blobby, over and over again, Blobby, Blobby. He'll tweet. He'll make tweet, and the tweet will be Blobby, Blobby, Blob, Blob, Blobby, Blob. That's because he's Blobby, Mr. Blobby. And I just,
Want me to get it back?
I went back.
Here, I'll
Yeah. I clicked on the phone and it went to another page.
Here you
But
go.
also his voice is digitally, they mess with it, electronically altered.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a
It sounds like a
computerized,
kidnapping call.
yeah, it's like Blobby, 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 Blobby.
And then he makes the sound which they said like horses running away from a cart, like that. Like
Yeah.
demonic sound.
And the beautiful thing about him in the early stages, in the early years, and by the way, Joyce and I knew nothing about this guy until this week. Or he might have been mentioned once or twice on the
It was mentioned
shows we
in the
watch.
English, and the English shows we watch, but we never understood. I thought it was like Felix the Cat or something like Sesame Street. I thought it was a kid
Oh,
show.
there's nothing sesame about that. There's nothing.
He's naughty.
And that was the point. He was anarchic in that
Yeah.
beautiful Marx Brothers, Ritz Brothers, Hell's a Poppin' kind of way of like coming into a situation. Let me just make it some lighter on there. And breaking things, smashing through the wall, just falling
A lot of it
down.
falling, hurting, falling on people, like attacking guests.
Yes, harmlessly, but like some
He destroyed
important.
the goalpost with the goalie. He jumped on the goalpost.
Yeah, like this important soccer player is teaching Blobby how to play soccer. Soccer like kind of knees him in his shins. It was kind of
He
beautiful.
kicked him. Yeah, he grabbed the ballerina in a not a nice way.
Oh, he did.
Remember
Oh,
the
a
ballerina?
male ballet.
Yeah,
thing.
he
He went,
grabbed him.
yeah, this was early Blobby. The Blobby was Harpo. Blobby was literally a descendant of Harpo Marx, of this coming into a situation for no particular reason, not making any sense, not speaking any discernible language except Blobby, and then leaving a hurricane of destruction in its wake, in Blobby's wake, right? That's a beautiful thing. I love that anytime that happens. One of the things I love most about comedy is you'll come into a situation, family's eating dinner or whatever. One of my favorite clips of all time is from Family Guy, where Peter and SMEG, his daughter, and Brian, they're all sitting in the living room while Lois is making dinner. And for no good reason. And this whole segment goes less than 2 minutes, right? Yeah. Peter says, all right, I got a bottle of Ipecac here. I'm ready to drink some bottle of Ipecac. And the person who
vomits first,
or who doesn't vomit, who vomits the last, or who doesn't vomit at all, gets to eat the last slice of pie. Which is genius right there. So he's got Ipecac, which was always used, back in they don't use it anymore.
Ipecac was used to make people vomit. I mean, it's to, a lot of times, wow.
They don't use it anymore of the charcoal because there are better ways to get the poisons out rather than just that. I looked this up because I played this clip also for my classes. But this idea of they're just sitting around the living room, mellow, talking, relaxing. Peter, they'll chug a little Ipecac. And within 10 seconds, they're all vomiting on each other horribly and destroying the living room, destroying each other. And of course, it needs a topper line at the end when Lois comes out with a big bowl and says, all right, who wants chowder? And then they all start vomiting again. It's
the smell of clam chowder would do it for most people.
I love clam chowder. But that's the idea, this idea of coming into normalcy for no good reason. And then comic pandemonium.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a bomb will do that in real life, but
no, but you want something silly,
yeah, and
absurdist.
Which Blobby, pure Harpo, pure Blobby. Like, I'm just gonna create damage.
Yes, yeah.
For no reason, I'm just gonna be damaging
they
things.
Open the show and there's like a line of like dancers.
Yeah.
And they move on the side of the stairs, and he falls down the stairs, drags him down the stairs.
Yes, yeah, in a funny way. It's that Noel was usually the guy in the suit, and he was he couldn't have been.
Tell the story when Noah was another guy.
Yeah.
And at the end they pretended and said it was Noel, but it wasn't.
You're right.
But so to say the one where they were doing like the charity thing where they called in and donated, and Blobby would go to the school and he broke his phone and he used it as a cigar.
Yeah. I mean, he could improv. It was a great bit. And of course, he became weirdly, this thing, this pink.
But people were
purple-
afraid of him. Like the one guy on the game show was really afraid of him.
Well, yeah, there's I forget that guy's name, very good-looking bearded guy
It's
who
probably on
grew
the,
up
in that.
terrified of him. I get that. I could get being like 6 years old,
Well, there's the
seeing
one
that.
when he had the baby, the wife and the baby.
Oh,
That
that was
was
so.
good. Let's see if I can find.
Oh,
the
if you can
baby.
find a picture of Blobby and his family
Yeah.
at home. They did the Edward R. Murrow kind of thing where they visited Blobby and his home.
They have
Yeah.
Mrs. Blobby's the wife and baby Blobby's the son.
Baby Blobby.
A musical career.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
The
Yeah.
theme parks that didn't do well.
Yeah. They had a whole mini documentary about the rise and essentially
Oh my
fall.
God!
What?
Somebody said that when they wrote about him that it's a metaphor for the nation going soft in the head, and then some people think it's a Britain's addiction to trash.
All right. Well, yeah.
And he threw her birthday cake to the floor.
Who's?
A young girl, and then the father tried to assault Blobby. Yes.
Was it like a sketch, or did he actually?
No, that was real. Yeah, he did, and we heard about that on the show. Remember?
That's
They said,
beautiful.
Yeah.
That was when Blobby was pure Blobby. It was sort of like, I see a birthday cake, I see a little girl, I don't care if I hurt the little girl's feelings. This birthday cake is hitting the floor.
Killer Bee.
What?
Killer Bee. That's
His name was Killer Bee?
Yeah, it was created by Michael Lego and portrayed Killer by Killerby.
Yeah.
And it's 1992 to 2015 and 15 to present by Paul Dennison.
So, and he's still sort of around.
Mm-hmm.
His heyday, as we heard, was 92, was it?
We had music too.
Well, that was the thing.
1992.
What is considered one of the worst Christmas songs of all time was created for Blobby. It wasn't Blobby singing. It was a bunch of children, like a children's chorus, of course, but they weren't singing about Christmas. They sang in a Christmassy way about Blobby. Yeah.
Here's the closest we can get to the.
Yeah, I probably can't play it on the show because.
No, I'm not giving you a clip. I'm trying to get the Blobby family.
Oh, please.
But this is like the best we can do.
So we're watching this
You're gonna have
mini
to
documentary about Blobby. Yeah.
Like pull the family to show them. That's the best I can get.
Oh, okay. There's we can sort of see there's Blobby and his wife with the pearls, and we can see little baby Blobby, who is very cute. Baby Blobby was really anything small. Is really like baby Jeffrey Dahmer was probably adorable. Little Hitler with his bowl haircut was kind of cute.
You can get them on Etsy.
Yeah.
Etsy has look at that vintage 1990s. This can't be from the 90s. I'm sorry, these are in too good a shape. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know how many times they were worn or for what purpose or.
Oh, look at this.
Well, show me.
Have the actual tag.
You know, my birthday's coming up in a week, hon. And a visit from Blobby. Oh, what is that?
That's the dolls.
All right, yeah. These do look kind of vintage. They might, I don't know.
Yeah, those have tags. The other ones didn't.
This is a Mr. Blobby Teddy with his family too. You have to understand they were huge in Britain for a few years. It was one of those things where this ridiculous idea, and Noel's House Party apparently was a very, very popular show. Millions of people watched it in England. So that character, the next morning at the water cooler kind of thing, everybody, did you see Blobby? Oh, Blobby. And he became massive. There became Blobby dolls and Blobby marketing. Crossovers.
Blobby, a Christmas Blobby. They have a lot of different Blobby.
Yeah. And then of course he wore out as whether his fault or not. It's just something happens enough in any culture and people are like, oh, that was so hip 2 years ago. And now, that's not funny anymore. He hasn't been funny since and people got tired of it and it came sort of and this is the worst thing that can happen in a way. I haven't seen it. We haven't watched it. But they brought Blobby Black. They brought Blobby back. Say that 5 times fast, as a true children's character in another series. And so it's more of a real, actual children's, because children always gravitated to Blobby in the initial years, because he represented craziness and anarchy. It was stupid, it was funny, it was falling down, creating havoc. Children love havoc, right? I mean, they need discipline, they need it, but in their creative lives, in their imaginations, to have some sense of freedom but despite all the strictures of kindergarten, first, second, third grade around them, and parents telling them what to do, and you go to sleep now, and then suddenly a creature comes in, and it's like all of that. They love that. But then when you neuter him, and if you look at the costume, he's probably neutered from the beginning, but and just turn him into a cute character that kind of stumbles around and looks goofy
I
and
think
does
they tried to
goofy
make
things.
them actually for kids because
Yeah.
so many kids liked it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, as much and as cool as Pee Wee Herman's TV show, Pee Wee's Playhouse was, and it was a neat show. You know, I don't think a lot of people necessarily go back and watch it and get a lot of laughs out of it. It was kooky, it was crazy, it was lively, it was funny. Everybody loved Pee Wee Herman. But when Pee Wee Herman was genius, was when he first created the character and did it at the Roxy. And it was a show for grown-ups. Every third sentence was some kind of double entendre or some callback to things
It's
that
like the
grown-ups do.
birthday cake to see.
So someone Pee Wee Herman chose to neuter himself in a way to do the TV show. And I'm not saying it didn't. I mean, the TV show is beloved. It's iconic. It's whatever. But the genius part was before he kind of said, "Okay, kids love me. Let me play for the kids." It's just sort of, at that point, it kind of goes away. You lose. It would sort of be like if Marilyn Manson started hosting Masterpiece Theater, and even with the makeup and shit. Yeah, let me see. Oh, Blobby cookies.
That's cute.
I want to
That's
see
a great
that.
idea because it's like a snowman shape. They just painted it pink and put spots.
I would eat that. Would you eat that? Would you eat a Blobby cookie? Oh, no.
Why was it yellow, like yellow spots?
Well, it could have been jaundice, as you're saying. What other disease? Because jaundice would turn yellow all over.
Yeah, poor Mr. Blobby.
Look at poor Mr. Blobby. He's still alive. He's still posting tweets or X's or whatever the hell you call them. But I now have a new thing to obsess about, a new thing to drive Joyce crazy all week. Because when she'll ask me questions, I'll just respond with blobby, 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 blobby. I mean, if you know me, you know that I do this
Oh, people are
to excess. What?
People are comparing him to. Here, you can show this.
To whom? Oh, to Greeley, right?
Here's the gift. You can show the gift.
Oh, look. See, here's Blobby angry about something. That's a classic moment. He was angry because he was told he was not going to get to go to New York with Noel. So he's really pissed. He's like kicking the wall. This is a classic meme right here. This is like, yeah, And of course, Noel relented and apparently did take him to New York. How did we not know about this?
For your guest.
I'm sorry, what about my guest?
Your guest.
Marissa Mulder. She comes on at 10 minutes or so.
Let me check your phone to make sure there's no.
Please, yeah, should be
no,
probably on Facebook.
Yeah, I can look on your
Yeah.
Facebook Messenger.
Oh yeah, please do. You might have to reload it or something.
No, I have to.
But so it's just the thing that really strikes me as weird is not knowing something that I kind of should have known about 30. I never heard of it. So it was like when I first learned maybe 25 years ago about Nick Drake, the English singer-songwriter, shy, tall boy who put out 3 albums, and between his own, sort of shyness and mental illness, and just the vagaries of the record companies, he was barely even acknowledged in his lifetime. And then in his he barely made it to 30 or something, died. And now he's considered one of the legends of British folk pop rock music. And the 3 albums that he left behind are tremendous. But, I consider myself an expert in these kinds of things, in Fairport Convention and Sandy Denny and Richard Thompson and John Cale and folks. I was listening to WFUV. I was listening to a lot of folk, listening to folk music radio programs and things, and everything from Clanged to the Clancy Brothers to other people that I know about, even if I don't really listen to them. Right? How did I miss Nick Drake? How for like 15 years, and then one time I'm like, whoa, I don't know how I discovered, or maybe it was a used CD store or something, and I saw it was Joe Boyd was the producer. All right, and it was beautiful, it was brilliant, and I just kicked myself. I felt lucky for having finally had that music in my life, and I still do. But it was like this, I was blindsided. I mean, you consider yourself an expert in things, a savvy person. Like, I studied this, I know this.
Yeah.
And something comes, it's happened with silent movies where there'd be comedians. I considered myself an expert on silent comedy. And I know it's a snobby thing to say. Like, well, of course, everybody knows Chaplin, Keaton, and Lloyd. Although, what kids today don't know Chaplin, Keaton, and Lloyd. But, what about Larry Seaman? What about Mabel Normand and John Bunny? And you feel like superior because you've studied it. And then suddenly, and I know Charlie Chase. He kind of looked like Chaplin. It was kind of that. It was like, but then someone comes along who was kind of like good and important. And now I'm forgetting his name, of course. I'm like, wait, who was that? He made a bunch of movies, a lot of them lost. And then it's like, you feel really vulnerable in those points. You kind of feel like the Achilles heel has been found because you're wrapped in the armor of all this stuff that you know and should know. And then you're like, if I missed that, what the hell else did I miss? What else don't I remember? Not even don't remember, what else passed under my radar in my gathering of all this information and trying to become a know-it-all about these very particular subjects, whether it be silent movies or folk music or anything like that. So it was just and British comedy, right? I was watching Dave Allen and the Goodies and the Young Ones back in the day, and these shows, No Honestly, British sitcoms in the 1960s and 70s. And then into the 90s, how did I miss Blobby? But now at least I have a little Blobby in my heart, a little Blobby in my life. And I feel so much better. Anyway, it's about 8 minutes to 10 a.m. Eastern time here in the Daverhood. We're doing the 926th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio podcast programmio of the stream with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wonderful wife, Joyce.
Yeah.
Remember.
So far, so good. The last thing is your thumbs up, so that's okay.
Oh, good. Oh,
yeah,
good.
I'm looking. I just was trying to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably log on in a couple minutes.
Fine, just making sure.
So why don't we do Bunion Watch?
Okay.
Again, we usually save it for later.
Do you want to lower the thing and then raise it when you have your guest, or?
Let me see if I can get my foot.
Be careful, David. You're going to fall.
I don't want to hurt myself. Hold on.
Please don't hurt yourself.
All right. So, old Dave.
We need to get some kind of camera where we can film it.
Yes. Like a sport cam. One of those things that people take diving.
Yeah.
And it just call it out. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Hold on. This is Dave's sock.
Your socks are clean. That's good.
So, I'm not going to tell the whole story again, but just suffice it to say about
Why
five.
don't you just get your indicator of what level your bunion pain is. You have an indicator.
Oh, I have the indicator. That's right. That's right. Thank you for reminding me.
That could help people, rate their pain.
No, I could either use the pain scale, but although thank goodness it's really not been, it's always been this.
Yeah.
Since we've been doing the
when
Bunion
you started
Watch.
out, it was on the other.
It was on my left foot, but it wasn't the bunion itself. The pain was from rubbing of the shoe on the toe. Yes. So anyway, but I thank you for the tape measure. So here's my foot. Oh God. And there's my right foot bunion. Look at that stuck up. Look at it. So we're gonna measure Dave's bunion.
I honestly don't know how you don't knock over the lamp. When I was on Zoom, I knocked that thing over twice.
The show's not over yet here.
Okay.
So I feel like it's a half an inch. Like if I really crock it, that's a good solid half-inch bit of bunion bone right there.
That's nice.
Isn't that wonderful?
That's nice.
Now that's my big bunion on my right foot.
Yeah.
So my bunion's looking nice today. It's a little dry. I should put.
But when you're going to be on camera, you have to be ready.
I should have Vaseline my bunion last night to make it supple and beautiful as a bunion should be. Let me check my left foot. Ow!
Oh, are you okay? What'd you do?
I have an ankle.
David, now it's going to be ankle wash.
All right, let's do my other foot.
Ankle wash.
Ankle very much. Here's my other foot. Kind of hard to do this one. This is my left foot. Smaller bunion, although this is the foot that had the pain. My first day teaching.
Why are you clawing your toes like that?
Because when I do it, it makes the bunion pop out.
Oh,
Otherwise, you can barely see it. if I don't do that, the bunion almost looks like a little.
Oh.
Wow, look how wrinkly my big toe is.
Yeah, what happened there?
What's up with that? It's like, look, first look how dry my foot.
Wait, look, so
Yeah.
I'm looking at all my searches of what's going on, and apparently Tom Cruise Top Gun 3 that you saw.
Well, I saw Maverick, yeah.
Maverick, the Top Gun 3 is coming out. I didn't know, I thought that was what you saw when you went to your
Yeah, if you were watching last week, it's kind of a wonderful story. I served jury duty for a few hours. I said duty, and part of our jury duty service, I'm not kidding, was they just had us watch Top Gun Maverick while we were waiting. So. And then we were quizzed on it. No. But
then they had one of the actors come in and swear you all in. They should have. I think in New York, when I was in the federal jury, the tape was done by actors. I think they were like actors who did famous actors talked about the jury.
Oh, I think one time it was Law and Order people who actually did it.
Yeah, it was very cool.
This time they got the folks from Channel 11 News in Baltimore to do it. It was a good video. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't play the Bunion Watch theme music that I always play for the Bunion Watch segment. But I'm very glad that you got to see the conditions of my bunions. This morning, Apple wants me to sign in. No, I just want my old-fashioned bunion. Not that. Where is it? Here it is.
She's Bunion, she really is a boy. She's Bunion. Listen, doctor, to my plea. It's time for bunionectomy. Bunions, they're a pain in the feet. These feet of mine have got to go. Please get these bunions off my toes. My elbow boy, foot for all this time. My elbow boy, bunions, painful, bunions, painful, bunions, painful.
There's really no other program, even on Hulu or Netflix or Vudu or any of these other Amazon Prime, where you're going to hear a medley of songs about bunions.
That's very true.
Only on this program, Dave's Gone By, will you hear that, and probably for good reason. Anyway, pretty soon, hoping that we're going to have our guest in the Daverhood, Marissa Mulder, who's going to be appearing at Don't Tell Mama.
That's such a pretty name, Dave.
Marissa?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I worked at Marissa, but it was called Marissa. But
Marissa. I don't know how she pronounces it.
The person I worked with is Marissa.
Oh.
Wait, Marissa.
Well,
I'm confused.
Marissa M. or Marissa. Now I'm not sure how she pronounces it.
Ask because
I will.
A lot of people do it differently. Yeah.
Well, anyway, she has entered the waiting room of the Daverhood. So this means that Rabbi Saul has to come into the room now because he will be doing the honors of interviewing this lovely lady, Marissa Mulder, cabaret songstress. So, don't go away. We're going to play some Jewy music for the rabbi. I wish we could play some Marissa Mulder singing, but we'll be blocked to me.
Maybe she can sing live.
She probably could. And the great thing is that Rabbi Saul will mention, she'll mention, is that rather than the Tin Pan Alley songbook, which all cabaret people do, she concentrates on stuff from the last 20, 30 years.
I love it. She switches it up.
She does Beagles, she does Tom Waits, she does,
wow.
Yeah, so that's really cool.
Switch it up, sister.
But this is more Rabbi Saul's kind of music, as we bring him into the Daverhood. Anoint me with borscht. shalom, my friends, shalom, my enemies. This is your old pal, Rabbi Sol Solomon, here from Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And how delighted and thrilled and excited I am to be talking to a songstress, a warbler, if you will, someone who has been toiling the cabaret vineyards for the past 10 to 15 years. Moved here in New York in 2007 from Syracuse, which is, I don't even know where the hell that is on the map. But now she's in Manhattan, and you can see her at the Don't Tell Mama Club on January 25th? Dave was getting that wrong. It's January. What day of the week is that? What the hell is that?
A Thursday.
It's a Thursday. It's a Thursday, January 25th. Get your tickets now. It's called Songs by Strong Women. So she's going to be singing songs by strong women. But she has also won Metropolitan Room Metro Star Challenge, and she's performed at places as diverse as Carnegie Hall, the Algonquin, Birdland, Town Hall, and even the Cafe Carlisle, as well as Lincoln Center. Won't you please welcome to the Daverhood, the lovely, the talented Marissa Mulder. Shalom, Marissa!
Hello, Dave. Hello. Thanks for having me.
Can you see the payas? Rabbi Sol. This is, or you may call me Your Eminence. Either one.
Rabbi Sol. I'm so sorry. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
You are most welcome. Most important question before any of the music stuff. Are you Jewish? I doubt that you are.
I am not Jewish.
Damn it. What the hell are you?
I am Catholic.
It's all right. We'll go through the interview anyway. How has being a shiksa influenced your, do you have any religion in your life? Do you celebrate holidays? Or did you go to a shiksa school? What?
Well, I went to Catholic school from preschool all the way through 12th grade. But I don't really, I go to church on holidays, Christmas, Easter.
Shoah.
That's about it, really.
Right. But you believe, you have some kind of belief system. You still believe in
I do. I have a strong faith. Now, strong spirituality, for sure.
Which basically means that in 10, 20 years, she'll put out a Christmas album like everybody else does. But just, what is your favorite Christmas song? Do you have one?
Well, it's the Christmas song, the chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
So yeah, it's not even a religious thing. It's more of like the wintry feeling of Nat King Cole and having your nuts roasting on the fire is basically the thing.
Sort of. I guess you could say that, yeah.
So let me ask you, what made you give you the guts and the chutzpah to move from Syracuse, snowy, wintry Syracuse, to say, I'm going to Manhattan, I'm going to make it as a singer?
Well, that was always in my mind and in my heart since I was a little kid. And I didn't think about it too much, which is probably what gave me the guts. I didn't analyze it too much. I just did it. That's what I wanted to do. So I came pretty quickly after graduating from college, and it's been quite the journey. I've learned a lot. It hasn't been easy, and moving to New York City from Syracuse was a big leap. It took me a while to find my footing here in the Big Apple.
Well, were you doing the typical thing of trying to, going on chorus calls or things for auditions for Broadway, off Broadway, as well as trying to do cabaret stuff? Or what was like your first year? And did you share like a one studio apartment with 5 other people, that kind of thing?
I shared an apartment with 3 other people in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. It was a 4-bedroom. It was pretty nice, except there were lots of mice, which was a great introduction. So when I first came, yes, I was auditioning for some musical theater, but I was very, it took me a while to really put myself out there. So I was auditioning, but not a ton. And I actually was introduced to the cabaret world by another singer who comes from Syracuse too, Karen Oberlin. And that was a huge gift because she really kind of introduced me to the world of cabaret. I didn't even know it existed. And she would take me to shows at the Algonquin and Feinstein's when that was still there.
How the hell did you
And,
afford, you were living 4 to an apartment. How did you afford to go to Algonquin and Feinstein's?
you know, we would go to the late shows at the Algonquin. I think because I knew Karen, sometimes we were comped, which was really nice. And she introduced me to all these wonderful, legendary cabaret performers, and they were happy to kind of have me as their guest. So not always, but sometimes I did get to skip that cover charge, which helped.
But you still have to tip the waitress and order a drink. Otherwise, you feel bad.
You do. So I don't know. I knew that it was important and it was money worth spending. So I guess I just found a way to do it.
So how do you make that leap to that first time? Maybe not for open mic night, but you put together a cabaret show of your own. When was that? What was that?
Sure. So I moved in 2007. I think I connected with Karen in about 2008. And that's when I started just taking in the cabarets and getting to know some of the people. And I went to a Christmas party for the Manhattan Association of Cabarets and Clubs, the MAC Christmas party. There, I met a piano player named Bill Zeffiro, who I worked with a ton over the years. And he was playing at a French restaurant on 2nd Avenue, which is closed now. And he told me that he was there on Tuesday nights and to come in anytime and I could get up and sing a song with him. So I took him up on that. I started going in on Tuesdays. I would sing a song. The next week, I sang a few songs. And as that progressed, I ended up kind of having my own evening there with Bill, working with Bill. And we did a show called Swinging on a Star. And
Not
it
the
was
Broadway show. So there was a Broadway thing of Jimmy Van Heusen songs called Swinging on a Star.
Yes, well, there was, and I did a Jimmy Van Heusen show. And Jimmy Van Heusen, who also comes from my hometown of Syracuse, New York. So, and Karen Oberlin directed that show. So that was, oh, but you know what? I goofed up. Before that show, I did do a different show at Don't Tell Mama. That was where I did my first show. So I guess it was it was in 2010, and it was called Lost and Found, a Determined If Ditzy Cabaret Debut. And it was just songs I loved, and it was great. It was my first time doing that. And it was all my friends and family in the crowd. And it was a great first time. I just shared personal stories and just sang a bunch of different songs I loved. And then the show after that was the Jimmy Van Heusen show.
Now, at that point, were you still mostly doing, though, it sounds like for the Van Heusen, it's kind of like Broadway Ting Pang Alley era. But for that first show that you did, were you doing songs more from the 60s, 70s, 80s, which seems like more of the makeup of what you do now?
No, the first show was more of the songbook, more of the standards. I did include a Stephen Sondheim in that show, a Joni Mitchell song. But it was mostly standards, Broadway. And then obviously the Jimmy Van Heusen was all Jimmy Van Heusen. So those first two shows were more of the songbook, more jazz oriented, Broadway.
So when did you start more recently to carve out the niche? Because when you go to a club, it's almost like Sinatra could be singing most of the song, and from that,
Right.
Tony Bennett, not Perry Como, but Dean Martini, that, and before then. But you're like, nah, let me do Joni, let me do Tom Waits, let me do Beatles, let me do Beach Boys.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
So that happened when I was done with, well, actually, I left out another part. I did win a contest that through the Metropolitan Room, which sadly is no more, which was a club I loved to sing at. And they did a Metro Star Challenge where it was, I think it started with 50 singers and it was a weekly competition. And the winner got to do a 4-night run of a show. And they kind of paid for the expenses to produce the show, paid for the musical director's fees. I did end up winning that show. And that again was still more traditional, more songbook and Broadway. And a friend of mine named Lauren Fox, who's also a fellow cabaret performer and actress, she came to that show and we became friendly. And at the time, she was doing a show of all Leonard Cohen and Joni Mitchell music. And it was a really exciting, really well thought out, put together show of kind of exploring their relationship and their music. And I met her and her then boyfriend, her now husband, for coffee. And we were talking about what I wanted to do next. And I said that I wanted to do something a little bit darker, that I had this other side in me that wasn't just all bubbly and smiley. And it was her husband who suggested Tom Waits. And at that time, I didn't even really know who he was, but I went home and I started listening. And the more I listened, I was blown away by his storytelling, his lyrics, his melodies. My dad was a big fan, unbeknownst to me, and he thought it was a great idea. So that's kind of how it began. And
See, I would have
she
suggested
directed it.
Motorhead. I would either gone with Motorhead or Gigi Allen, but that's a little bit. Maybe
Yeah, well,
that's a stepping stone toward them. But yeah, Tom Waits, of course, is a magnificent songwriter. Was there one song that you clicked with immediately? That not only this is a great Tom Waits song, but this is a great Tom Waits song for me to do.
yeah, when I heard Rainbow Sleeves, when I heard Bette Midler sing Rainbow Sleeves and I listened to his version, and I thought, wow, this is a really, really good fit. I felt it immediately. And then just some of the other ballads. I mean, the ballads are what I love the best. And the show is mostly ballads. It's 14 of his songs and mostly sad songs.
Well, yeah.
And Lauren directed that show. So she was a huge help and really had a great knack for helping to put it together. And so that kind of definitely set me apart.
Let me ask you about putting a cabaret musical show together in terms of the time it takes, how often you have to rehearse. Does the pianist, the musical director, have a fake book with the songs already? Do you have to have them arranged for you and written out? How does that all work?
Yes, well, eventually they're all written for me and arranged for me. The pianists I work with are so incredibly talented, as I'm sure you can imagine. My pianist who played for the Tom Waits show and many of my shows since is John Weber. And he wasn't familiar with any Tom Waits. He knows everything and he did not know that. So that he did a lot of listening on his own to the original recordings. I did bring him music for that. I found it online. I ordered a songbook online. But yeah, and then we just kind of go through the tune as is. We find the right feel, the right key. And then when we figure out what we want to do with it, then he'll go and write the arrangement out.
Oh, he will, yeah.
But oftentimes with my other shows, like my Lennon and McCartney show, I said, which songs do you need the music for? And he didn't need any of them. So he knew all of them, but he did still end up writing them out because I used a guitar and bass for that show.
Oh.
So then it's wonderful. Then I have these beautiful charts that I can take for, little one-offs here and there, and other pianists can read them. And I pay for those and they become mine and they're a great asset. So
Now, when you said this little while, how much of your time are you able to be a full-time musician, or do you have a day job? I mean, how do you support yourself in New York?
yeah, I have two other jobs besides singing. And one has been as a nanny. I've nannied for several different children over the years. I nannied for a family of 6 kids on the Upper East Side for 8 years.
Wow.
Somehow part-time because the mother didn't work. But all during those 8 years, I was singing, and I've been fortunate enough to get in with families that are flexible and understanding that sometimes I have a gig or I have to leave town. As of late, when the pandemic hit, when performing stopped altogether, I was sort of feeling like I wanted to explore another avenue, something besides just nannying that I could explore. And I ended up getting certified to become a peer advocate for people in recovery. So actually now I work for a program through the New York City Department of Health, where we actually respond to patients in the New York City emergency departments who have overdosed on opioids and obviously have survived, which is great. And I go in and I try to ask them what happened, and I try to get them to sign up for our program.
Which
So
keeps them off. I mean, what is your program? You say it's an advocacy thing. What
it's an advocacy thing. What it is it's basically a 90-day thing where I'm part-time, so a full-time wellness advocate would follow up with them and basically follow up with them at least once a week for about 90 days and just basically support them wherever they're at, whatever that means for them, whether it means keeping them, up to date on the safety tips they should be using to keep themselves from overdosing, or if they want to go to treatment, if they want medication, we can assist them in all those things. But it's really just to try to prevent this overdose epidemic and keep people.
I had a sponsor for a couple of years when I was trying to kick borscht. I was addicted to the red, not the white. Nobody likes the shab and the white, but
Yeah.
the red. 3 times a day. I was just spooning it. I was like,
So you understand, yeah.
I completely understand. Yes. And I haven't touched borscht. I got my chip. It's been 36 hours, so I'm very.
Wow.
This is
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very. It's a potato chip, and I dip it in the borscht. So it's more.
Okay, well, you know what? That's all right.
So
one hour at a time.
What was it like though? You did a birthday special during COVID, or some kind of special during COVID, online,
Yes.
Zoomy thing. So did that keep your hand in the game? I mean, was her point was, what the hell am I doing? I'm trying to be a cabaret singer in New York, and who the hell knows if there'll be cabaret again? I mean, thinking back.
Yes.
So
it was so disheartening, but those Facebook shows, I ended up loving them. I ordered one of those special ring lights from Amazon, and my piano players were, yes, see, we all have them now, and they're great. The birthday show was so much fun. It sounds silly, but there were so many people watching, friends, family, peers in the cabaret world, some people I didn't even really know that well. And what's fun is, as I'm singing, I kind of go right up to the camera and I can read the comments and I can talk back to people. And
that's dangerous when I do it. Believe me,
is it?
The comments that I get is like, yeah.
I can see that. Well, it keeps it
fun.
I mean,
I can see that.
It was definitely, and we like doing it so much that Bill Zeffiro and we do one every Christmas time, a holiday show, still on Facebook Live, and I love doing it. So that helped, and I also I started running a lot during COVID, which was a really healthy thing to do. I could have done many other things besides that, and that helped keep my spirits up, just getting outside safely and moving. And I did work on a show during COVID, which gave me some purpose and kept me, my spirits up as much as they could be.
Now, was that the show, the Strong Women show that you're doing right now?
No, that was actually John Prine.
Oh my God, John! You see, this is what I want to hear in cabaret. As much as I love the Chestnuts, as much as I love Rodgers and Hart and Rodgers and Hammerstein and Mr. Rogers, I was like, come on, okay, John? What song do you do? Hello in There? What do you do? What song do you?
Yeah, Hello in There. Sam
Oh,
Stone.
that's a funny one. That's hilarious. That's so, no, just,
That's a really a crowd pleaser.
you should sing that to your opioid people. Yeah.
I absolutely should. Boy, does it hit differently now when I sing it. Illegal Smile, Dear Abby,
Boy.
Summer's End. There's so many great ones. And of course, you know, we lost John Prine to COVID right at the beginning, which was so awful. And at that point, I'd only performed Hello in there over the years. I always loved it. But again, I really didn't know a lot of his other material. But my dad, again, was a huge fan. And John Weber, my pianist, was urging me for years to do a whole show. And I thought, let's do it. So
Yeah.
that's when I started putting it together. And yeah, I absolutely love that material. He's, you know, similar to Tom Waits in a way, just such a great storyteller, but so simple, but so profound.
All right. You're not getting an argument from me. So, but speaking of which, speaking of doing things live and modern songwriters and stuff, tell us a little more, please, about the show that you're going to be doing Thursday night, January 25th at Don't Tell Mama, which is over on West 46th Street and 8th Avenue, by the way. It's called Songs by Strong Women. So who are the strong women that we're talking about here?
Who are the strong women? Well, the strong women are Carole King, Joni Mitchell, Taylor Swift, Alanis Morissette, Tori Amos, who else? Pink, Joan Baez.
These are all, yeah, every single one. I'm waiting to get in there if you have a weak woman, like, you know, like Sinead O'Connor. It's like,
oh, you know,
great
no,
song,
Sinead,
but not strong though. Yeah.
Sinead was on my list. I love Sinead. I ran out of space. I always run out of room for everything I want to do. It's so hard to narrow it down, you know.
So can I ask what songs by some of these? What Joni Mitchell do you do? Now, is it River? Because everybody's River at Christmas, but no.
No, it's not River. It's actually Little Green.
Oh my God.
Little Green.
Yeah.
The song she wrote for her daughter that she gave up for adoption, and that's kind of the theme of the show. You know, I found some really personal anecdotes. I also include Silver Springs by Stevie Nicks, and I learned more about the backstory of that, and Amy Winehouse. Just women I really admire that aren't afraid to kind of go there and be vulnerable. And I just am so happy I did it. I mean, a lot of my shows have been all male writers, so this has been something I've been wanting to do for a while. And I loved finding a mix between, you know, some older women and some of the new and upcoming writers, because I think they all have something to really bring to the table.
Oh, absolutely. I'm curious. What Taylor Swift do you do cover?
I actually do two of hers. I do a song called Mirror Ball.
Oh, I love that song. That's actually a beautiful song.
It's a great song. And another song called The Last Great American Dynasty, which is
they're
a
both
great.
From folklore. They're both from that great.
They're both from folklore, which I thought that's one of my favorite albums of her. I felt like it was such great storytelling. You know, a little less, you know, I don't know if many of those songs went to #1 on the billboards. I mean, there's still great songs, but they're a little bit outside the box.
They're album cuts, what we used to call back in the
and she's such a I really love, I think she's an incredible songwriter and an amazing storyteller. So I was really excited.
Marissa Mulder sing these songs and others. You're going to go to Don't Tell Mama on Thursday night, January 25th. Get your tickets. Don't miss it. Do not miss seeing her. By the way, let me ask you. You talked about when you first started, the first, you know, getting your feet wet. What are some specific things that you learned from watching other cabaret singers, like some of the legends that you got to see? We're talking now, you know, 15 years ago. So you might have seen Julie Wilson, you might have seen maybe she stopped performing by that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, who did you see and what did you learn from them?
Yeah. Well, I saw Steve Ross at the Algonquin, and I always found him to be, he just always really transported me and had such a respect and love for those songs. I always felt like I was in such good hands, and again, an incredible storyteller, very subtle. It never felt like it was about him, but it was about the story he was telling in the songs. And I loved his piano playing. So that was someone that really inspired me. And Andrea Marcovici was another one at the Algonquin, where she would literally come up to each table and sing lines of songs directly into your eyes. It was so powerful. That really left an impression on me. Maud Maggart is another person that I really excited me sort of as a younger person. I saw a lot of myself in her and the material she was choosing. And I thought she just had she does have a really haunting, still quality with an incredibly unique sound that, you close your eyes and there's no mistaking that it's her.
She's got a high trill vibrato thing. By the way, the three people you mentioned, if people are interested, have all been on this program. So if you want to watch,
I'd love to.
Maud Maggart. I mean, they're all audio because it was radio back in the day. But Maggart, the guy you mentioned from the Cole Porter show,
Steve Ross,
and see, I don't remember anything anymore.
Andrea Marcovici. That's okay.
Yes, they're all been in the Daverhood. We're just, I'm just bragging. I'm just boasting.
No, that's fantastic. I love them so much. And Julie Wilson, I never got to see her do a whole show, but I did win. I was so humbled to win the Julie Wilson Award. And so she presented that to me, and she sang before I went on stage. She sang But Beautiful. And I got to go to a couple dinner parties with her, and she was just extraordinary. And she said to me towards the end, she was so disheartened that she couldn't sing anymore. But she grabbed my hand and she said, "You make sure that your audience understands every single word that you are singing." And that really, I just was so touched by that, because that's what she did. Such feeling, so much heart and soul in every note. Great interpreter. I loved her.
Can I ask you, we're talking with Marissa Mulder here. What was the first record that you went and bought? Actually, you're young enough, it would have been probably a CD already or a download, but what, like when you were old enough to have allowance money, your own money, what 45 or single or album was the first one that you bought with your own cash, if you will?
I'm trying to think. I think, it's going to sound funny. I listened to a lot of the standards with my grandfather, but I didn't go out and buy my own CD of those because they were kind of around my grandparents' house. I think one of the first albums I bought was Alanis Morissette.
Jagged Little Pill, when that was...
Yeah, and she's in my Strong Women show, and I love her.
So, did you see the Broadway musical? It was quite good.
No, and I'm sorry I didn't, because I heard it was wonderful.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. Anyway, let me a couple more questions with the delightful and lovely Marissa Mulder. Let me also ask you, are there some favorite songs of yours that you love but are not in your range, that you would listen to all the time and you wish you could sing, but they're just not for you? They're not in your vocal range.
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Well, I don't have a big belty voice, and it's just not who I am. So I don't try to be that, because it's not what I'm working with. So some of those songs, like like Nothing Compares to You, Sinead's when she gets really big, maybe that's one. I don't know, some of those big Broadway numbers, I love hearing them. I love when belters, I don't like when people are just singing big just to sing big, but when it comes from a place and it has emotion backed with that big sound. So any of those Broadway legends or Celine Dion songs, maybe.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I love those. I would have to sing them differently without as much of the powerful chest voice belt.
Because I'll sometimes sing "I Will Go On," and my wife will go, "And you will go on and on and on," and I'm like, "Ha ha, damn it!" But
Yeah.
speaking, have you ever, since you've been performing now for a while, have you ever had wild moments in the audience where someone said something stupid or had a heart attack or something funny happened or something fell, piece of lighting equipment fell near you? What happened on stage?
Yes, I have. I've had some interesting moments. Just a couple times when people were very, very chatty, during very quiet moments, quiet ballads. Most of the time I've been able to somehow learn to just stay focused and ignore them. Sometimes if the situation warrants, I think I am pretty good at thinking on my feet, so I can make a joke. There was one time it was very early on when I was starting out. I was asked to sing at the Dutch Treat Club, which is it's a luncheon they do every Tuesday at the Players Club in Gramercy. And they have performers every Tuesday. There's a lot of cabaret people involved, but they invite like authors and all kinds of people that come in and speak, and they have a very fancy lunch. It's not what I'm usually doing on a Tuesday, but
They've
I
never
was
invited
there.
me, I'll tell you that.
Well, I was there around Valentine's, and this man who was very well known there, he got up during my song and was doing this really funny dancing. He was kind of a ham. And so instead of just acting, I said, "Would you be my Valentine?" During the middle of my song. And I think it kind of quieted him down because I don't know, I think he was kind of used to sort of doing whatever he liked, and he was very well known, and it was kind of distracting because I wasn't singing a song that really was a dancey type number. So that kind of took him out of himself, I think. But I did it it wasn't mean. I just incorporated it into my number. Another time I was doing my Tom Waits show outside in the Thousand Islands, which was very peculiar. And a dog came up and sat right next to me during the song Day After Tomorrow, which is a very heavy song about a soldier wanting to come home from war. So that was kind of odd, but I tried to I don't know, maybe the dog felt something or was called to come up and sit by me. I try to go with the flow, and if it allows, I try to have fun with it, because I find
I
that
can
those
understand the dog coming if you're doing something from Bone Machine. The dog goes, "Bone," and it's like,
right.
yeah, but no, but during.
But it wasn't. It was a dramatic moment, so it was a little silly. But I like those moments, though. I mean, unless the person's really obnoxious, I like those moments where I can sort of hone my skills of just, being quick on my feet. And it reminds me that we're just here in this moment. You can practice and practice, but it doesn't really matter when you're up there. It's in the here and now, and things happen, and that's what keeps it interesting and real.
And we are being interesting and real and in the moment with the lovely Marissa Mulder. And you can be in the moment with her, but don't get up and dance. Don't annoy. Don't be talking. Don't be looking at your stupid cell phone. By the way, which do you get that also, where people are just like, or
Yes.
recording even, or that's
yeah, and it can be disheartening, but I also know that, I just try to move along to another face. And, sometimes you'll see somebody and they look bored to death, but then after the show, they're saying how much they loved it. So you just don't know. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what the situation is. So I don't know. I'm not at the stage where Patti LuPone is, so I try not to shout at everybody. Maybe if I was a Tony winner, I'd do that, but
this so happened. I was giving a sermon, and this woman in the second row was looking daggers at me, though, just like giving me like the evil eye and the whole thing. And then afterwards, I was just not going. I said, "What? What?" She said, "Oh, I loved your sermon. I was just," and I made me so sorry. I smacked her. I shouldn't have done that. But,
isn't that funny though? Is sometimes we interpret it wrong. We interpret it the wrong way. So that's been a cool lesson to learn. And sometimes people really are bored, and that's okay too. It's not going to kill me because somebody else is having a great time. So
And not only if their boys, oh, it's Tom Waits' fault. This song is
yeah,
best. I'm doing a great job, but the song, Rainbow Shoes goes on for a while. Day after tomorrow,
yeah.
7 minutes long.
And as you know, some people, it really was not their cup of tea. It was a very different thing to do. It kind of ruffled some feathers a little bit.
Do you
Some
think
people
Kentucky
will,
Avenue, by the way? I don't know if that's on your album.
oh no, but I absolutely, that's one of the first songs I listened to, and that broke my heart. I love that song.
Well,
Maybe in part 2.
maybe. Well, how can people still get the album that because you have a Tom Waits album called In His Words that is available.
Yeah.
Where? How?
On Spotify, on iTunes, on Amazon, I believe.
Some of the usual places they can get Marissa Mulder doing the Tom Waits album, even though Waits is not one of the strong women that she will be singing about. Even if he has an operation, he was still she is going to be singing things by Alanis Morissette and Taylor Swift and Joni Mitchell and who else? Is Mama Cass in there?
Yeah, no, Joan Baez is in there.
Yeah.
And who else? Sarah Bareilles.
Oh yeah.
And Carole King.
Right.
Amy Winehouse.
Hey, who's the most famous person who ever came to your show or you saw in the audience and was like, who?
Well, it was Angela Lansbury.
When?
And it was I did a show about Marilyn Monroe, which was very much more of a theater piece, directed by a Broadway baby named Sandra Lee. Sandra Lee, who was the original Tiger Lily in Peter Pan on Broadway, and was in the film, who is now 95. She'll be mad at me for saying that, but she is.
She doesn't look a day over 93. It's fine. Yeah.
She's incredible. I think she's in Paris now. She went to Paris by herself to visit a friend, and she directed that show. She actually studied with Marilyn Monroe when they were both in
Lighthouse
with what's the big with the Strasbergs.
Meisner maybe, or one of those, or
yes, and
yeah. Wow.
And so she is I had no idea, but Angela Lansbury is a friend of Sandra's, and Sandra must have invited her, and she came to the Laurie Beachman Theater, and I was back.
She looked at her cell phone the whole time.
She didn't. She was so lovely, but I was. It's a funny story. I was backstage. I get kind of neurotic before my shows. I'm not very calm. I get my anxiety is through the roof, and when I get up there, that's when I feel settled. But it's the hours leading up. I just, I get some of it's healthy. Who knows? It's just how I operate. I was texting with my mother minutes before the show saying, I'm feeling off. And she said, well, you better get it together because Angela Lansbury's here.
How did she know she was in the audience? Or she was literally in the audience texting you were backstage. Holy crap.
Yeah, which when I told Sandra that, Sandra was very angry that I found out, because she thought it tripped me up. It really didn't. I was in a state of shock, but anywho.
It tripped you up more if you come out there, started doing the show, and cabarets aren't so dark that you can't. It's not like a theater where you can kind of see in a small theater who's in the audience. Would you have been?
It might have. I don't even know. But either way, I guess that's the way it was supposed to go. I found out, and she said some lovely things, and she was so kind. And that was incredible. So that was the most famous person to ever come see me.
So for now, for all you know, Biden might show up at some point. Michelle Obama could turn up.
That'd be great.
It's who knows? Muhammad Ali could. Well, no, he wouldn't at this point. Really unlikely. But we've been talking with the lovely, the delightful Marissa Mulder, whom you can see. They can't hear me.
Oh,
Something about you've been hearing me. You've had no problem, have you, or have you?
I have been hearing you. Can they hear me? Is it me?
Yeah, everybody can hear you fine. I don't know what the hell's wrong with my stupid.
Yes, but they want you to speak louder.
All right, I'm gonna have to scream now. So,
Okay.
Did they ask any questions? No, I told them about my borscht addiction.
No, they said they love your guest, but they want your volume higher, and they love the show, and they love the guest.
They love the show. They love the guest. I don't know what I can do about the damn volume. It's been a problem for the last couple of weeks. So I apologize to all of you for that. And I apologize. Well, Marissa, at least you've heard me, and we've heard you. I wish we could get you
I have.
copyright thing. We would probably be cut off by Facebook. How do you deal with that when you sing, when you do your Zoom concerts live on Facebook? You don't have a problem. You sing and then you don't get a message saying, copyright naughty BMI.
I don't. So I hope I don't start. I mean, obviously for my albums, I've gotten all the, I've paid for the copyright and the rights to do those. But as far as the Facebook shows, no, I don't know.
I think
I hope it's all right.
It must be anti-Semitism. They hate me. They hate my. I don't know what it is. But anyway, the last question for Marissa Mulder, whom you let me shout it so everybody can hear. Whom you can see Thursday, January 25th at Don't Tell Mama, 343 West 46th Street. It's off between 8th and 9th Avenue there, somewhere in New York. Songs by strong women. Now let me ask you. You seem to be living in a nice, lovely, it's like a Brooklyn apartment. Are you married? Are you kids? Do you thinking kids? What's your deal? Are you? I don't know where you are. What's your thing?
Well, I live in Astoria, Queens, in a studio, which I love. I used to live on the 4th floor of this same building in a 2-bedroom with a good friend, just a good friend of mine who moved to Florida. So
now, she
I
must
was
be
alone.
Jewish. No, yes, sir.
Right. Well, it's a he, actually, a good friend, a performer who now works in the casting department for Royal Caribbean cruise ships. I'm so happy for him. He found a way he was trying to do the performing thing for years, and it was just wearing him down. So anywho, they let me move into the studio, and I love it. It's tiny, but it's so cute, and it's an old building. Just the other night I had rainwater coming inside, so it's not perfect, but I'm still here. And no, I am single. I am single. I have not had the best luck with men.
You're in
works.
theater and cabaret. Did they all turn out to be gay? I mean, what was the?
One of them did. The others just, that I don't know. It's like they come on very strong, and then when things start getting real, they're gone in a flash. So it helps me make good shows. I mean, I can continue singing these really sad songs. But I hope at some point somebody sticks around. That would be nice,
Well, I mean, for the sake of your art, I would wish you more heartbreak, but no, I want you to have love and good things in your life, and then you can sing the occasional happy song.
It would be nice to sing a happy song and really feel it. No, but I'm a happy person. I just am trying to, I love children. I love children. I love them. So I don't know. It's not to get super personal. I don't know if that's in the cards for me, because I am getting old.
What are you, 32? What are you, old?
38 years old.
But you're over the hill. Oh, just kidding. I'm kidding.
I am kind of, but I'm still here.
Parts are not gonna, but it doesn't. Come on, you got 50 more years in the cabaret world. That's right. Yeah. So
that's the beauty of cabaret. We get better with time, right? I can, if I take care of this, I can be doing it hopefully for a very long time. And
do you have a coach? Yeah. Do you do exercises? Do you protect your do stuff to what? What do you do?
I do. Well, I do, I don't take lessons anymore, but I have some great exercises I do. And, I take pretty good care of myself. I I used to drink the occasional alcohol, which is fine, but I don't do that anymore. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke anything. I'm a runner. Running has really helped my voice. It has helped my breathing and my lung power. So I find just like yoga and running, moving my body and just taking good care of myself is the best gift for my voice. And I've noticed a huge difference since I stopped drinking alcohol. Just to get candid, I don't do it anymore. That was a good choice for me. So
Interesting, because what was wrong with it? Dry up the throat, or what is alcohol?
yeah,
I don't know how much you
it
were
did
drinking.
seem.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, occasionally I would have too much, which wasn't good, and I
That
I
explains
think
some of the men. All right, yeah.
yeah, it does explain some of them. Not all, but some of them. But no, it would dry my voice out, and it would just even just it would disrupt my sleep and I don't know, make me feel anxious. I'm already a very sensitive person. I don't really need anything else to kind of bring me down a notch. So I think I'm good just with some tea or maybe a Shirley Temple if I want to go crazy.
Wow, wow. Only on New Year's and maybe Hanukkah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
special occasions.
Well, it has been a delightful special occasion for us in the Daverhood chatting with Marissa Mulder. Get her album, Tom Waits in His Words, and go see her at Don't Tell Mama Thursday night, January 25th. Don't Tell Mama on West 46th Street. Marissa, I'm gonna take a chance. Can you sing just a line or two or three before Facebook kills us of some song from the Strong Women show, or any song you really want to sing, just to take us out? And we thank you, by the way, for being so wonderful and delightful in the neighborhood.
Sure. Let's see. What should I do?
Oh, I don't know what. Any.
Okay,
Yeah, please.
I'll do some Joan Baez.
Sure.
Well, I'll be damned. Here comes your ghost again. But that's not unusual. It's just that the moon is full and you happen to call. And here I sit, hand on the telephone, hearing a voice I'd known a couple of light years ago, heading straight for a fall.
I'd love to hear more of the Bob Dylan, Joan Baez song there, but we better not. It's not only that when we're live they might get cut off, but we archive the program and then YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
hopefully it'll let us get through. What was the name of that song? It's Diamonds and Rust. That was
Diamonds and Rust about Bob Dylan.
Well,
yeah.
Are you doing any Dylan songs in your next shows? Maybe.
Maybe. I love Bob Dylan. Maybe I will. Yes. I'm going to just say yeah.
We will look out. By the way, do you have a website where people should know?
Yes. It's just my first and last name, MarissaMulder.com.
Marissa with two S's, one R. Marissa Mulder, like X-Files.
Like Xfiles.com.
Marissa Mulder, what to you? Success, love, happiness, even if you don't find love, just happiness, good things, but enough misery that you keep finding sad songs to sing to.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much, Rabbi.
Good Shabbos to you. Have a great one. Shalom.
Shalom. Thank you.
Oh, Marissa Mulder in the neighborhood. The important thing was you heard her. You didn't have to hear me. I don't know why you can't hear me. I'm blaming Hamas. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us on this Shabbos morning. Dave is going to come back and do more of the Dave's Gone By Facebook, your podcast, your program, your the stream. But I shall return a little later in the program to do a couple of new jokes. I have a rabbinical reflection. It's kind of a mini sermon, but today it's still the new year. I'm going to tell a couple of jokes that I wrote. I almost knocked over the lamp in my excitement. You're going to want to stay for that. For more of the Dave's Gone By program, Shalom Uvracha to every one of you from every one of me. Stop it. Okay. Anyway, Dave Lefkowitz here, the host and producer of this program called Dave's Gone By, which has been on the air since October of 2002. And Rabbi Saul was actually on our very, very first program all those years ago, 925 programs ago. So if you're interested in his archives of his rabbinical reflections, of his stage show, he has done stage work and musical work in New York. They've been video recorded when he did his one-man show, Shalom Dammit, An Evening with Rabbi Saul Solomon at the Richmond Shepherd Theater in Manhattan. You can go see that by going to shalomdammit.com. Shalomdammit, D-A-M-M-I-T, shalomdammit.com. And what else about him? And that's also the website where you can get links to watch his hilarious TV program that he did on Long Island cable television quite a few years ago at this point. But it's all there at shalomdammit.com. So I don't know what to do about the volume thing. I'm going to pull the this a little bit closer to me so that maybe at least my mouth is closer to the microphone. I have no idea what the issue is. You know, at this point, I guess you can just make your speakers louder because there won't be that imbalance between the guest talking and me, because it's just going to be me and Joyce on the side here. But I hope you can hear vaguely well enough as we do more of the Dave's Gone By program.
It's high on your computer. Is it all the way up?
It's all the way up.
Okay.
It's all the way up.
Yeah, it was Trevor. Oh God, not Ralph. What's his name?
Wow.
Some guy wrote a nice thing.
Oh yeah.
Let me try to look on your phone. And then Mary Popinski and Trevor, if he's doing his show, he just.
This happened on the New Year's program. I'm gonna unplug this light maybe
No,
because
I
it's in
wonder
the
if it's
what?
It's probably maybe something with your Zoom, the way you have the Zoom volume, like when you
Ooh.
when you do a the way your speakers are connected, maybe.
I don't know.
What am I looking for? Oh, Facebook, sorry.
Anyway, I apologize for that. I'm gonna try and figure this out and work this out maybe for next week and the weeks ahead. But the Zoom people on Zoom can hear me fine, or can hear Rabbi Saul fine, but he yells a lot. So, anywho,
I'm not sure.
we do have more of the show. We've got Greeley Times. We've got Bunion. Well, no, we did Bunion Watch. We have Dave's Big Dictionary,
I clicked 27,000 things to.
where we talk about pyrolysis, which is things that are affected and changed by the addition of heat.
Is this the correct Facebook account?
The one on the left with me, like with the blue. Yeah,
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 okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna see. They posted online, I think. I'm gonna see.
I don't know what the issue would be.
5 comments. Let's see. It was Trevor saying, "Hey, Dave," and then
I've just enabled noise suppression now. I took that off when there was some music playing.
and it was Mary. Yeah, maybe noise suppression did it. I don't know. But then it's Mary Richard Golkai. He said the rabbi's volume needs a boost, and then he said bravo. So maybe it worked.
Well, and Richie Goldklang, who has been in the Daverhood. He was in a band called the Third Bardo back in, I guess it was the 1960s or 70s. A friend of ours out in Long Island. Hey, Richard. And also what we have, we've got our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. We're going to Animas Forks. So yeah, we still have quite a bit to do, and we're almost at the 11 o'clock hour.
On the phone, it has a little live around your icon.
A what?
See live. It says you're live.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
I guess it alerts
yeah,
friends, which is good. That's how people know.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
I've never done it.
Because we are live here on this Saturday morning. It is January 13th, 2024. It's our second official, well, 2.5, if you count the fact that we did a New Year's show that slopped into January 1st. But our second full official program of this new year. And I hope you're having a good one. Before we get to even more stuff, speaking of friends of the Daverhood that we'll talk about later, or we can even do it now, but friends of the Daverhood are folks who've been on this program in months and years past. And, we keep tabs on them. We like to know what they're up to. If they recorded an album 5 years ago when they were on the show, what are they doing now? Oh, and by the way, to Mary Polinsky, hello. What have they been up to? Well, I got a message on Facebook from our friend Art Paul Schlosser, who is a
show the CD. Oh,
The CD's in the car.
okay.
Dumb. The CD's in the car. But Art Paul said, "Hey, I've got a new album out. Please tell your listeners and folks about it." And it's an album of songs that he wrote, covered by other people, which is kind of cool. So I thank him for sending that. We've been listening to it in the car. Unfortunately, I don't have the record in front of me. Sorry, Art Paul. But being Art Paul, he sent not just a CD in the mail with a little note, but that's he died.
But
That's
the photo does not translate well.
well, that was back when Joyce is showing me a photo of a lighting designer, Richard Pilbrow, who passed away a couple of months ago. He was a guest on the show, and back then, when we were putting our interviews on YouTube, the only way you could do audio, because it wasn't a video interview, was there was a program that I had where you loaded up audio and you could take a photograph and put it with the audio and it created a video. But the problem was if the photograph wasn't wasn't horizontal, it stretched the photo. So that's why it's a perfectly good photo, but it got stretched by YouTube so that the video could play. So that's why it looked like that. Anyway, Art Paul sent not just a CD, but a whole package of stuff from Art Paul, including a holiday card. So I thank him very, very much for this, where Art said, well, he just signed this one, wishing you a holiday season filled with special moments. So look at this. I have a signed Art, and that is his handwriting, Art Paul Schlosser holiday card, which is so nice. Thank you, Art Paul. But he also included some other stuff. So let's see, for whatever reason, this is as close as Art Paul would get to payola. For me, he doesn't realize, I guess, that I don't work at a radio station anymore, and we're just on Facebook. It's $1 million bill right there. He is a fairly religious person, so of course it says, "In God we trust," and a lot of verbiage that I can't read because I don't have my glasses, but it's kind of this cute fake thing. And then, if it weren't fake, I wouldn't be doing a show. I would just be playing Art Paul Schlosser the whole time. Here's some health news by Art Paul Schlosser. Look at this, hand signed. Doctors, I mean, and it's kind of playing on the opposite. So why am I going to explain humor to you? You'll get it. Doctors discover high salt, high sugar, and high cholesterol is good for you. Eat lots of junk food, but stay away from vitamins. These nasty bandits, vitamins, can destroy your brain if you're not careful. Be careful when eating vegetables and fruit. They might lower your high blood pressure to normal. Hey, this is good. Going without breath can lengthen your life, providing you don't suffocate. Yeah. But don't exercise. You might lose that excess flab that makes you so attractive. And if you must exercise, keep in mind that the best exercise is overexerting so that your heart will explode. I'm not making it. This is kind of solid medical advice from Art Paul. Never worry about what's in your glass as long as it tastes good. I kind of like that. Cigarettes before was said to cause cancer. Now they've been discovered to be the cure to the common cold. This is kind of like what Woody Allen did in Sleeper, where it was junk food. Yeah. The more you cough, the healthier you are. Well, if you stop coughing, and yeah. Staying up will keep you awake, and then you will be alert. That's kind of cute. I like nice little tautology there. Drink lots of coffee or jolt, or even better, too much of a bad thing is good for you. Poison ivy when eaten will help you itch. Hum, you think I'm crazy? You think I'm...
Do you think he wrote them or he cut and pasted?
No, I think this is him. Stay away from that diet food. It tastes funny and they remove chemicals. Well, actually, he's right about that. If you lack energy, eat lots of candy and sit around watching TV, YouTube, or Netflix, which he spells Netflicks. Never worry about calories as long as the food tastes good. Your doctor, Ralph Foamy. So, bit of comedy right there from our beloved Art Paul Schlosser, who is a street singer and songwriter. You can see him in Madison, Wisconsin. He actually posted on Facebook today or yesterday that unfortunately he will not be singing outside today.
Why not?
Because there's like a foot snowstorm going on.
It's good, he lets people know.
Yeah. Hi, dear radio station, he says. I am
Your radio station?
Yeah.
Oh,
Your
my
radio station.
Wow.
That's me. I'm WDN. I always wanted to own a station, Gesundheit, called WDNL for my initials. That was always my dream.
Why don't you claim it?
I will. I will.
Yeah, just claim it.
Or if it's in the mid-Atlantic states like KDNL, no, it's gotta be I'm born in New York. Hi, I'm Art Paul Schlosser. I have been on America's Got Talent in 2010 singing Eating Cheese.
Oh, wait, here's an update.
Oh.
4 days ago.
What?
Our pulse flash.
Yeah.
On Saturday, I got together with my son and my friend Robin, and after buying some clothes from my son, we ate at La Brioche at 2862 University Avenue.
Oh, nice.
I had the eggs Benedict croissant with ham and asparagus. For dessert, I had the largest chocolate eclairs I ever saw. I think it was 3 to 4 inches wide and about a foot long, stuffed with custard. My son's dessert, maybe his son, was a cream puff with chocolate frosting and there's strawberries for cream. There's nothing else for dessert. Go there.
That's
Good
right.
ads now.
Oh, all right. Hey, that's yeah. I mean, he has a nice little life out there in Wisconsin, Art Paul Schlosser does. Dr. Demento has played lots of my songs. It's true. Dr. Demento actually played 2 of my songs, so got to boast there too, including "Vote for Me, It's a Joke," "Can I Drive Your Car," and his all-time classic, one of my favorite songs ever, "Have a Peanut Butter Sandwich." In 2000, I didn't know this. In 2019, Jimmy Fallon, whom he calls Jim Fallon, I guess they're close, played "Have a Peanut Butter Sandwich." But my most popular song on Spotify is "I'm a Chicken." Why I don't know. And here are some other links about me. Lots of things to know about Art Paul Schlosser. And by the way, thank you for sharing all this and sending all this to me, Art Paul. Again, I'm kind of afraid to play music on the program, or else I would be playing. Or I don't actually have a phonograph, so I can't play this, which he sent. It's called Cartoons. This is really a collector's item, I guess. Of it's vinyl, man. Art Cartoons with Art Paul Schlosser and Frankie Pobarley, including, as you can probably see from the writing on there, car commercial, Friday night, as well as "Can I Drive Your Car?" and "It Eats Too Much Gas." So I guess, hey, Neil Young did a whole song about cars. Why can't Art Paul Schlosser put out an EP? It's kind of fun to hold vinyl again, man. It's kind of, oh no, I thought I had a scratch on it. It's a hair. Possibly one of Art Paul Schlosser. You haven't touched this. I haven't got, no, I got no hair to, yeah. Anyway, thank you to Art Paul for this wonderful care package. And I'll let you know more about the CD. Unfortunately, I don't have the name of it in front of me because, as I said, the only place we have a CD player at this is in a car.
Read this joke.
Oh, here we go. This is not Art Paul. This is something.
No.
Okay. So, can you get back to it? Every time I touch it, it swipes the phone over. It was from someone named Jan.
I'll take a picture so you can.
Yeah. Oh, it's 11 o'clock, by the way, or a little bit after 11 Eastern time here in the Daverhood on Dave's Gone By. With me, Dave
This is a
Lefkowitz.
picture, so.
Yeah. Let's see this. Okay, I'm going to try not to. Oh, it's
It's a picture.
This is from someone named Jen on Facebook. So, I ordered Chinese from a local place, won't name them, went to pick it up, and as I was driving home, heard the bags rustling and moving. I thought, what on earth is that? Has something gotten into the bag? I thought I could see a little pair of eyes peeking out. I was driving, so I pulled over, leaned forward, picked up the bag, put it on the passenger seat, and there it was again. More rustling and little eyes looking out behind the ginger beef. I thought, it's gotta be a rat or a mouse or something. So I carefully pulled the bag down, and there it was. A Peking duck. Yeah. You know what it was holding?
What?
The bill. Yeah, I get a little joke there, a little
Those
comedy.
expensive, aren't they expensive?
Peking duck is the one with the mushu pancake. Oh no, that's mushu. Yeah,
I don't know, Peking duck is
they
the-
put the sauce on, you put the duck in the pancake. It's nice. They make you do the work, and they still charge extra for it, but it's really good. Anyway, oh my God, we have so much to do. We have Greeley Times, we have Bunion, oh, we did Bunion Watch, I keep forgetting. We have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned for Animas Sports. We've got Dave's Big Dick Shinary and our friends of the Daverhood to do. So much, so what should we, I'm at sixes and sevens, hon. What should we do right next?
Whatever you.
And Rabbi Saul Solomon's Rabbinical Reflection. So don't forget, we gotta play that too. Let's do what we usually do. Let's go right to our weekly segment based on a column in the Greeley Tribune newspaper. Literally, it's in here every week. It's called Top Blog, and it's about phone calls that come into the Greeley Police Department and Weld County and Evans, in northern Colorado, of people who are like seeing strange things happening in their neighborhoods and wanting the police to check into it. Well, the funniest ones, stripped of their identifiers, go into the paper, and we take the funniest ones of those and share them with you on this segment that we like to call, and we do call it, Greeley Times. Greeley Times it is here on this Saturday morning, January 13th, where we're doing the 926th episode of the show. Are you ready for some crime and criminality, dear? Because I think we might have a phone call coming in. I'm not sure. It's funny how I have an instinct for these things. Yeah. All right, you know what? I'll get it. Hold on. Yeah, okay. A caller at a business on 23rd Avenue reported locking himself out of his vehicle while it was running.
Oh, yeah.
How?
You could do that easily.
I fear doing that,
So,
but
like,
how can that
let's say
happen?
You start the car and then you're like, oh, I left something in the boot, in the trunk.
Right.
So then you get out of the car,
Mhm.
right? And you shut the door because you want to keep it warm. It's cold. You go to the trunk, you open the trunk.
But how does it auto lock?
No, it probably, most people have their doors locked all the time. So it locks when you
really?
shut the door. And so then he went to get something in
Oh.
the trunk or whatever, or maybe he went to lock the house door and he goes in and it's,
Yeah. No, the part that I don't understand is like if the car's running and on and whatever, how is it if you open the door to get out, how does it suddenly lock when it closes back behind you? I don't, thank goodness, because then I would have easily done that
Yes.
10 times.
You should just leave the keys in the car when you're not.
I leave the keys in the car, I leave the phone in the car. One time I drove away from the gas pump with the gas, what do they call it?
Spittle.
The spittle open, yeah. So I would absolutely, if it were possible to lock all the doors automatically, hit the thing and close it, I could.
Or sometimes people, in the morning, they start the car, like in the house, they start it, they have automatic turn on,
right,
and they have it locked. So maybe he did that, and then he went out to get something and locked himself.
I wonder, I guess you could lock all the doors, sort of
Maybe they're locked and he shut the doors with the keys in the car. That's
yeah, I
should call a locksmith or the fire department. Why the police?
I would call. Oh, I guess they would tell him to call a locksmith, or you figure a policeman can break in, perhaps not bashing the window out.
That's true, quick variant.
Yeah. So I wonder how. Anyway, another caller. Look at this. This one is from 15th Street. Okay, I'll get that one too. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me report it to the people here. A caller on 15th Street said a woman stole. What do you think this woman stole off her porch? This isn't like an Amazon thing. A woman stole.
A snowman.
Oh, that's cute. No. A woman stole cigarette butts off her porch.
Oh, somebody wants to chat with the rabbi.
Oh. I mean, the rabbi's kind of done for it.
It's connected. It's vibrating for the greetings.
Oh, I keep that for me. Oh, yeah. Oh, hi, Dan, Master. Oh, yes. That's someone I know.
Okay, I'm gonna say.
I want her as a guest in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna say on air now. We'll text later.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, this is a woman who I was at the long story. I was at a fellowship given by USC and the National Endowment for the Arts, and this is one of the people there. And she has a book now about Joan Didion that is getting a lot of acclaim and stuff. And so you want to get her on the show?
I said on air now. We'll reach out later. Yes to book.
Fine. Yeah. What do you mean yes to book?
Oh,
to
didn't want the book sent. I said yes. To
Oh
book.
yeah. Oh yeah. I would like to read it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So anyway, we're Greeley times. Here we go.
I
So-
don't know why your thing is vibrating.
Well, I said it that way. You know, it's cheaper than a dildo, but I mean, I guess a bad joke because dildos don't. Not that I would know this.
Okay, never mind.
So, but the woman stole cigarette butts
Yeah.
off the porch.
What's nice? Maybe she's cleaning.
I would love that.
Huh.
I would love someone coming to take the
Maybe that's
detritus.
like the community cleanup day where everyone cleans up.
Oh, could be.
That's beautiful.
I listened to David Sedaris in the car. I've been listening to his diaries, and you know what he does? He lived, especially when he was living in England. His mental therapy, his way of kind of relaxing, is for 2 to 3 hours. He will walk along the highway, picking up garbage.
Oh, yeah, that's very
It's just therapeutic for him, and it's also great for the neighborhood. So he'll go reaching for cans and bottles and bushes and things like that.
Where's gloves?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think that's kind of. I couldn't even think
It's
of
like
doing
a lot
that.
of people who they like to make order out of chaos, right? So there's a yeah, that's great.
I think it is. I was actually this neighborhood, Knockwood, is kept
Maybe
pretty.
you could start that habit.
In maybe
Oh,
central
here,
Baltimore.
here,
Yeah. Oh, another phone. Yep. Oh, where's this one from? It's from. Can you check where this one's from? Does it have the ring out?
no, it's.
I'm guessing it's 9th Avenue. Yeah, it's 9th Avenue. Reported a vehicle. Oh God. This I would call the cops.
Oh, no.
The caller reported a vehicle stuck on the railroad tracks
Uh-oh.
and 2 people trying to get it unstuck.
Lord, that is true.
Yeah, I
That's
would call the
never-
fire
that's a
department.
real emergency.
Yeah. That's I mean, thank God there's nobody in the truck, but
Those are the 2 people pushing it off. It's their car.
Yeah.
They're trying to get their car off.
well, at least they're not locked in. You know that.
But you know what's gonna happen if they get caught, like Anna Karenina, any body part or clothing gets caught on that thing, they could get stuck.
That's a bad thing. Yeah, oh man. Ooh. That's the one bad thing about Greeley Cop Log.
Yeah.
There's never follow-up. There's never a sense of like, did they get the car started or did they 10 people come and like a minion push the car
What
over
they
there?
did was they alerted the train people, and then the fire department probably came and pulled it off their tow truck.
There you
pulled it
go.
off the- I
Yeah,
don't know.
but it would be nice to know, you know? Now, honey? Yeah. Bring it. Oh, that'll wake the microphone up. They can't hear me, but they'll hear this.
What's that?
Honey, we have an alert.
Ooh, a chicken?
No.
Potato?
No.
Oh, 8th and 8th?
Yes!
Whoa!
We have an 8th alert, ladies and gentlemen. 8th Street and 8th Avenue in Greeley, Colorado is the vortex of all things. It's the Bermuda Triangle of Colorado and basically of America, if not the world. And we walk there all the time, 8th Street and 8th Avenue.
Who knew?
So we give an 8th and 8th alert to things that go on there. Because also 8th, it's sort of a lowy, renty area. As part. Well, here's the deal. As was at 7:45 in the morning, a truck driver at a beef plant. I think we know which one.
Chugga chugga.
On 8th Street and North 8th
Did it
Avenue.
involve pyromania or pyro?
That would smell really
What was
good.
the word?
Pyrolysis?
Yes. did it involve
Pyrolysis, yeah. The truck driver said he had been waiting to unload his truck full of cows for more than 24 hours.
Uh-oh.
And he wanted to know if anything could be done.
What happened?
Again, it doesn't really say anything. It's just like, can you imagine like driving probably dozens, hundreds of miles with a truck full of cows, not
Yeah,
meat.
they must be pooping.
Who would look after a big
No, I
literally
think-
cattle
I
car?
think they're gonna be put to cow death.
Oh, of course, so it's a beef plant.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. And meanwhile, he's like, Well, yeah, I've been ringing the bell. No one's, he can't go anywhere. He can't drive them back. He can't go to a hotel.
You should just feed them on a farm.
I know, right? What do you do? What do you do with a truck full of cows?
That's unusual.
I'm guessing he had a beef with management.
Yes.
Okay, the beef with
I
management.
think that that's utterly ridiculous.
He should have used his horn. And yeah, yeah. These are, by the way, these are all true. We're not making this stuff up. These are actual reports or calls that came into the police department. I'm gonna pull this even closer so you can hear me better, I hope.
I'll check and see if anybody's writing about it.
Anybody
No,
complaining?
I'm in your messenger, but I gotta go back to the thing.
So apologies. I don't know what happened or happens to the mic. It kicks in, it goes out, it kicks in, it goes out. I'm wondering if it's because maybe I plug the lamp into the side of this thing and it's looking for another microphone. When I do that, I don't know. But anyway, let's do another Greeley time from Coplog in the Greeley Tribune. A caller.
There's a comment.
Oh, there's a comment. Oh, what are people saying? What?
Marie says, I have trouble getting sound, so I use captioning, but wish I could get sound.
There's no sound? It's probably really, really low.
And then Richard, I don't know if Richard, they can hear me.
Well, my apologies, folks. Honestly, my apologies. I don't know why.
Ask Richard if he can hear better now, because he's watching live. Ask him if he can hear better.
So yeah, anybody watching live, I've got the musician sound off. And there's only so much I can do without, without anything, yeah.
Maybe we get you a mic to plug in.
Maybe.
External mic.
Yeah. Probably a good idea at this point. A caller on 29th Street said that a neighbor kept letting a dog urinate on her patio furniture.
Whose furniture? The caller or the neighbor?
It's gotta be the caller's patio furniture. I don't think the caller would mind if the neighbor hit her spot, make a spot.
That's
No.
pretty good if the dog's trained to go on patio.
On your neighbor's patio furniture, yeah. That's yeah. I would be annoyed too. And then one more. A caller at Glenmere Park, we know where that was,
Yeah.
reported a sick goose, quote, walking unsteadily. At least it wasn't driving.
Yeah, maybe he had a rough night.
Yeah, the like 1 millet sea too many, or I don't. Yeah. Anyway, those are all from Greeley, northern Colorado. We have, as well, stories that come in from other places in the world. So even though it's called Greeley Times, we have weird news, odd items that come from other places. For example, we're going to go to Leeds, Alabama, for this story from the Associated Press. And this, again, these are real, actual stories, real things that happened. A man crashed his car outside, excuse me, outside of a Bass Pro Shop in Alabama. All right, fine, he crashed his car. Well, he then stripped down to his birthday suit and plunged into the giant aquarium in the store. And what happened? The most wonderful thing to see like this naked guy run in and jump into the aquarium.
My problem is there are kids in the store. Like it's a family.
Police said the ordeal happened on Thursday night in front of shocked shoppers. So the store was open.
Maybe like, we're just looking for like, do you have a fishing rod, or I'm looking for some dumbbells? What is that fish? Oh my goodness.
Check this out. The 42-year-old Alabama man did a cannonball leap into the aquarium. He's like, last summer I went swimming. Last summer I nearly drowned, but I went into the pro shop and I moved my arms. Anyway, little Loudon Wainwright reference there. And then he stood under a waterfall That's a hell of a tank.
Man.
I wonder if it was set up by those guys who had that fish tank
Oh,
show
yeah,
on.
I've never seen a waterfall in a store like that.
Then he left the water to yell at 2 police officers.
That's a Sunday.
It's like, and then
Thursday.
this was I forget, Thursday night in front of the. It might have been a week ago, but it was recent. Yeah. So he got out of the water to yell at the police officers. Then he dove back into the aquarium.
It's good he could swim.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I don't know how deep that thing was. It had to be. If he cannonballed in,
You have a waterfall. It's gotta be
Yeah.
like a, maybe it's like a.
like when those divers, we
Yeah.
saw that documentary about
like
the mermaids.
Wiki-washy.
Yeah. But boy, oh boy, if you thought Splash 2 was bad, the man, this is horrible. He eventually climbed over the side of the aquarium
Wow.
and fell to the concrete floor below. What? I can imagine the sound that made.
And the pain.
And that's when police finally apprehended him. He is charged with public lewdness, disorderly conduct, and criminal mischief. Duh. I mean, like, yeah, but that's pretty fantastic. That's
He did everything.
that is my hero of the week, ladies and gentlemen. The Aquarium Man in Leeds, Alabama. So, whoa. Have you ever wanted to live in an aquarium? Would that be like a mellow life for you? Oh, that's me.
Meta.
I'm watching myself on the phone like 7 seconds after there's me touching my ear. Let's see how I'm going to touch my ear again. Let's see how long it takes for me to pick my nose, moving my hand, talking. There's me touching my ear. All right, let's finish up Greeley Times because we still have some more stuff to do on this Dave's Gone By episode. A caller on 30th Street said that he went to get his license and they told him that he had diplomatic immunity. Yeah, man. I don't know if they volunteered that information or hey, do I have diplomatic immunity? For whatever reason, they told him.
When people say things like that, it's often skeptical because if you have something like that, wouldn't you?
You would, yeah.
Say, like, I need to call my consulate, a lawyer. You wouldn't yell out, I have diplomatic
No,
immunity.
well, they told him. In other words, apparently they told him he had diplomatic immunity.
Okay, good, very good.
At the at the driver's license thing.
Yeah, it's very good to understand that. Very good.
So he called the police department to ask if they could run his name because he wanted to know if it was true. I mean, there's a couple of murders I wanted to commit, but I'm waiting. I'm wondering if maybe someone with his name would have been at the UN or something, or I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. But anyway, let's do one more Greeley time about a caller at an apartment complex on 30th Street who said a man pulled a gun out of his pocket and shot at the ground. Well, I guess that's grounds for assault. Yeah. Okay. That was Greeley.
I'm putting that from you. I'm posting that.
Thank you, Ben. That was Greeley Times for this Saturday, January 13th, 2024.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool. I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
What he is getting at is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi!
Yippee-yi, 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 yi-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi.
Oh, yes, my friends. So, we've got Greeley Times under, out of the way, shall we
Under
say.
your belt.
Bunion watch under the belt, yeah. We've talked with Marissa Mulder, and we still have Dave's Big Dictionary to do, Friends of the Daverhood, as well as our Colorado Limerick of the Dam. But let's bring in, basically because I have to go to the bathroom, let's bring Rabbi Saul Solomon back to the Daverhood. This also gives me a chance to think about the dictionary of the day. Rabbi Saul, you just saw him talking to Marissa Mulder, but we have him doing another rabbinical reflection. These are usually they're mini sermons about the world at large and society and Jewish life and stuff like that. But this week, he's come up with a couple of jokes of hilarious, comical, Jewish-inflected jokes, fairly topical too, when you hear them, as part of his sermon, as part of his rabbinical reflection. So what I'm going to do is, and I hope again that the audio works, I'm going to share my screen so that you can see, and you're going to see all the crap that I have on my desktop here. So we're going to lower that, we're going to lower that, we're going to lower that, going to lower my mail, going to get that down, going to get that down, to open up the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Saul Solomon. Let me, can I open that up? There it goes, in my quick player. Thank you, going to make that bigger. So the next voice you hear once again will be the great Rabbi Saul Solomon of blessed memory doing his 181st rabbinical reflection of new jokes on Dave's Gone By. Shalom, damn it! This is Rabbi Saul Solomon with a rabbinical reflection to start the new year. A week or so after the new year. What better way to get 2024 rolling than to have you, my beloved acolytes, rolling in the aisles with hilarious punchlines. I will share with you some Jewish jokes, brand new, written by yours truly, or, if you hate them, written by Joe Coy. Please note that if you are politically correct or take offense easily, these jokes are not for you. Then again, what jokes are? Joke number 1. 2 Arabs are shopping for prayer rugs at a giant bazaar in Jerusalem. A little Jewish shop owner comes out and says, "Please, we have the best rugs, you must see." The Arabs are skeptical. What does this Jewish merchant know about prayer mats? But they say, "Sure, what have you got?" The salesman rolls out 2 small rugs and says, "My brother and I, we don't sell any old schmatas like the other places. These are magical flying carpets." "Oh, come on," the Arabs say. "No, please. These were woven by the purest virgins and blessed by the highest imams in all of Turkey and Iran. Sit, sit." So the first Arab kneels on the carpet and waits. And waits. He says, "It's nice, but it's not flying." "Oh," says the Jew, "that's because you haven't said the secret words. You have to think really hard of a phrase that has meaning to you. Whisper those words into the carpet. Then, when you're ready, shout the phrase as loud as you can, and you will take flight." The Arab rolls his eyes, but then he shrugs, thinks a moment, leans forward, and whispers into the fringes of the rug. "Get in position," calls the merchant, "and scream it out." The Arab takes hold and yells, "Free Palestine!" Suddenly, a big wind starts up, and the carpet rises off the ground, 2 feet, 3 feet, 10 feet in the air. "This is incredible," says the Arab. "Ahmed, you have to try it." His friend gets on the other carpet, whispers to it, then sits up and yells, "Death to Israel!" Another wind gust comes, and his carpet goes 5 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet high. "How do I go up like him?" says the first Arab. "You can both go much higher," calls the Israeli. "You just have to close your eyes, concentrate, and keep shouting your secret words over and over." "Race you to the sky," says Ahmed, as both Arabs close their eyes, think real hard, and start screaming, "Free Palestine! Death to Israel! Death to Israel! Free Palestine!" Both carpets go higher and higher, 30 feet, 50 feet, 70 feet off the ground. The shop owner's brother comes out from behind the counter and says, "Shmuley, should I do it now?" "Nah," says Shmuley. "Wait till they're 100 feet up, then turn off the blowers." Now, what do we learn from that joke? Well, first of all, if a person wants to believe something strongly enough, he or she will put aside rational judgment and go with it. This not only explains religion and how we all worship fairy stories written thousands of years ago, but it's the reason we leave the house without an umbrella even after the weatherman has warned us 60% chance of rain. We think, it's not going to rain the 10 minutes I'm outside. It will, it does, you're soaked. Next joke. An Englishman, a Frenchman, and a Palestinian all die and find themselves at the gates of hell. The Englishman peeks in for a moment and says, well, it seems rather unpleasant, but so long as I can have my afternoon tea and spend the evening watching telly, I should get by all right. The Frenchman opens the gate of hell, wanders around a bit, then storms back saying, Mon Dieu, this is an outrage, the heat, the hard work. Soon as I can, I am starting the labor union, and everyone goes on strike. Finally, it's the Palestinian's turn. He takes a deep breath, throws open the gates, stomps in, and marches straight up to the devil. Then he says, honey, I'm home. This joke does not play well on college campuses, but then again, I do not play well on college campuses. They see me as a brutal colonizer, which is unfair. I've had many brutal colonics, but that's not what they mean. Anyway, these are ridiculous times for Jews everywhere. Our enemies surround us, sometimes they are us, and many are so naive they think they're helping us by helping our enemies. As I said, ridiculous times. The best way to muddle through is to laugh, sometimes through gritted teeth. Hey, how many Hamas militants can you stuff into an open grave? I don't know, but I sure hope we find out. This has been a rabbinical reflection from Rabbi Sal Solomon, Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. Ha ha! Thank you, Rabbi Sal Solomon. The opinions expressed by Rabbi Sal Solomon do not necessarily represent those of the program. They kind of do. But those of the program, those of Facebook, those of me or my wife or anybody else, they are uniquely Rabbi Sal's. Remember that for more about him, you can go to his website, shalomgamut.com, and also check his Twitter feed at Rabbi Sal Solomon. I guess it's called like X feed now, at Rabbi Sal Solomon. Anyway, it is 11:30 in the morning Eastern Time, and we are here with the rest of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the Stream. Conmigo, Dave Lefkowitz, my darling wife Joyce, who helps out with the program every week as well too. We have a couple of things still to do. Our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where we're going to Animas Forks, Colorado, as well as our friends of the Daverhood. But Joyce put me in a difficult position early in the show when I asked her to help me with Dave's Big Dictionary. Dave's Big Dictionary is a segment we've been doing for a couple of years off and on, where she, early in the show, thumbed through the pages of a legitimate, Merriam-Webster's dictionary and completely at random landed her finger on a word, and then it was my job, or is my job, to talk about whatever comes into my mind about that word. So, not word salad, but to just, to be extemporaneous. When I first started doing this program, for many, many weeks, and we were only an hour long on terrestrial radio, everything was scripted, just about. I mean, occasionally I do like a Bill O'Reilly bullet point thing, but mostly I was like so anal and so, fearful of making some kind of misstep, and so confident in myself as a writer, but not so much as a broadcaster, that it was kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna write everything out, and I can deliver a script a lot better than I can just doing improv. But we're in Dave's Big Dictionary, but. As I became more confident, got more time on the air, and then just let myself out, I scripted less and less and less, and became more and more just introducing songs, DJing, talking to you guys, telling about my life, making jokes. And now I script virtually nothing except Greeley Times, which comes out of the newspaper, and I write out, obviously, the Colorado Limericks, or if I do a wretched pun. The quiz questions are mine. So when I have to write something, I do, but I don't just, map out everything for the show.
No.
So this plays to that, a sort of a challenge to myself to be interesting for 3 to 5 minutes or so about a word. And the word of the day that Joyce chose, and actually I didn't play the theme music for it. It's Dave's Big Dictionary, and today's word is pyrolysis.
It sounds like a bad disease. Like I got the pyrolysis.
I know. Extra, tell all about it. It's Dave's Big Dictionary. So yeah, thank you, dear, for choosing that particular word. At first I thought it was going to be like pyloric, like because in my class that I'm going to be teaching again in the spring, I teach A Confederacy of Dunces, which is a book I love that nobody else loves. but it's this hysterical story of Ignatius Riley, and one of the things he's always complaining about is that his pyloric valve gets blocked up and he's constantly burping and farting and he's in a terrible condition. And he's an obese monster of a person. This is wonderfully awful. So I thought, I can talk about the pyloric valve, except that's not the word. It's not pylorus. It's pyrolysis. Could you read? Oh no, what? Okay, sneezing again? Gesundheit. Gesundheit. Pyrolysis.
It's a noun.
Mm-hmm.
Pyrolysis, a chemical change caused by the action of heat.
A chemical change caused by the action of heat. Which, first thing really, as she said, as you think of, is, well, cooking anything is pyrolysis. Anything. And then, so when I was just thinking about this, it's like, well, easy bake ovens. That's the first thing that came to my mind. This incredible idea that they can make a toy for 5-year-olds.
That cooks with the light bulb, yeah.
Genius. I don't remember if I ever had one because I was kind of marketing it to girls.
I loved it, yeah.
You did? Did you make cupcakes?
I didn't like eating it, but I like making it, like the alchemy, yeah.
But the very idea that you can put like a 60-watt bulb, or whatever it was.
Well,
a 60-watt, I think it was a 40-watt in a little bitty room.
Oh, we don't have any phones to look.
Yeah, we do. Use mine.
Easy bake oven. I don't know how, I'm going to ask how an easy
What a
bake oven
genius
works.
idea. Someone must have watched an egg frying on the sidewalk on a hot day. And, if we could
How
market
does
this.
an easy bake oven work?
Yeah. I would be curious about this. Because, and again, I don't remember if I...
It's a heat source and comes with pre-made mixes for easy baking. It's a popular toy for young aspiring bakers and has been a beloved part of many childhoods for decades.
It uses
True.
an incandescent light bulb.
Right.
It says, wow.
What?
What temperature does an easy bake oven cook at? They said 375 degrees.
What?
No.
Well, no, you know what? If you're making a cupcake with egg and flour and milk in there, it's got to,
Cakes, pizzas, and pretzels. Really hot light bulbs could reach up to 375 because it wasn't a conventional oven and helped parents' safety concerns.
So I guess...
Somebody asked, was it an air fryer?
An easy bake air fryer, wouldn't that be the best?
Here we go.
Oh, this is more information about it. It's a working toy oven, which is almost a contradiction in terms, from Kenner. Remember Kenner? Internet, right? Heating source. But what light bulb is in there? How does it even?
I don't know. It's a mystery.
Hasbro ended up making it. In 1963, Kenner did it. It used 200-watt incandescent light bulbs, one over the food tray and one below.
Oh, that makes sense.
So it cooked evenly. That's brilliant. And 100-watt light, you'll burn your hand if you touch it. So I imagine that they tell the children, you cannot take the food out, but don't be touching the bulb or something. This is going to be fun, though. Recall. The May 2006 model reported 29 children getting their hands or fingers caught in the front-loading door, including 5 reports of burns. So they did a voluntary recall and blah, blah, blah. They did all that. So, but anyway, what a wonderful
origins.
idea. Yeah.
It says Norman Shapiro, a salesman at Kenner's product, got the idea from the pretzel machines in the New York subway, which used heat lights to heat the pretzels.
True.
Mm-hmm.
There's no fire.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's no fire in like a
Well, we
conventional oven.
missed it.
Yeah.
National Easy Bake Oven Day is November 4th.
Oh.
Yeah, that's sad.
Wow. But you have to start it on November 2nd for it to heat up enough to work.
Now
But-
they have one that looks like a microwave.
Oh, whoa. An easy bake microwave oven.
Yeah.
Where it's just like it's a Marie Curie thing. Like the children play with it, they love it, and then they get cancer by the time they're 15. But it's worth it. And it's great fun. I do like the idea of an easy fry, like an easy bake fryer.
Air fryer.
No oil, right? You just put something in it, it's all crackly and crispy instead of baking.
But isn't an easy bake thing what air fryer is anyway?
I wonder. I mean, that's convection air going through. I don't know. There's no light bulb involved. There's no. When you use
Oh, there's a whole bunch of easy bake ovens.
well, yeah, I imagine. But when you used it, could you see it cooking?
I don't remember.
They have like a
It looked
window.
like a little fudge brownie. It wasn't like,
Well, yeah, all right. But I don't remember. I don't recall if you sort of closed it like or if it had the window, which was what the kid would want to see. They want to see their dough turning into a little, slice of fudge or not fudge of
Oh,
you
they
said
have a whole bunch
brownie.
of them now.
Well, yeah. Oh, let's get one.
Yeah.
I want to make
It says,
stuff.
why did they discontinue them?
Yeah.
The newer lamp, something with bulbs.
I wonder if you could make Peking duck in an easy bake oven. It would take like 4 days just to get have to cut the duck into pieces beforehand and like one leg, breast
Look what
meat.
it says, 52 years later, 11 models and 40 million units.
Mhm.
The Easy Bake Oven continues to inspire young chefs.
Yeah, I absolutely. I mean, it's the most wonderful, brilliant idea, like a safe way. They make fake tools, like plastic tools, so you can make believe that you're building stuff, right? And
You can make
Legos.
pretzels, cake,
Yeah.
cookies. $119. You can get an Easy Bake Oven.
Whoa!
It just says supervise the child.
It's $120. I can't imagine when they first started selling those, there were more than 15. Which I guess $15 in 1964 is $120 now. But holy shit, that's like, whoa.
You can
Maybe I
make
don't want
Marty
any-
pretzels, whoopie pies. This is a bundle. It's got a lot of stuff with it.
I would hope so. But then again, if you can make a whoopie pie,
Yeah.
I make a whoopie pie before. I hope I remember to flush. What else? What else? Pyrolysis. This idea of heat acting on something and making it change. I mean, you think of it feels like a scientific word. So you think of the fires under Bunsen burners making chemical things, but hell, I don't I never want to tan, man. But that's pyrolysis too. One would have to think if the sun is coming at you and touching your skin and giving you either suntan or sunburn, that process I imagine is pyrolysis as well. And I've always been an avoider of that. I've gotten sunburn. Everybody got sunburn when they were a kid. You didn't think of skin cancer back then. You just thought, oh crap, for the next 3 days, I'm going to be in terrible pain. And you do the peel thing in places that you can't reach because it's on your back, right? Because you've been in the sun, you've been on the boat, you've been on the beach, and it's sort of like, and I always hated suntan.
This is
Lotion.
the one I remember.
I'll show it. This is the Easy Bake Oven of
Classic.
back in the day. So you can't really see it. It goes in.
Yeah, and that prevented you from burning yourself.
Well, yeah. No, but I thought there might be that closes up to show a window.
Well, maybe they have the newer ones. I don't know.
But I've always been, since my childhood days, probably rightfully so, even when I walk on the beach, in the rare times I'm on the beach as an adult, I'm generally in long sleeves, maybe not long pants.
You know who should make
Got
the
my
Easy
cap
Bake
down.
Oven?
Who should I have an Easy Bake Oven?
Snag.
That's comedy gold right there. Bringing in a line from 2 hours ago and reminding us. Joyce said the SMEG Easy Bake Oven, except it's Italian made. It's really well made. It's $400. or 400 euros or
yes,
lira,
yeah.
or 4 million lira, I guess it would be. But yeah, that's the messed up thing about me. That's the fucked up way my mind is. That I hate suntan lotion. I hate smearing stuff on my face when I'm in the sun, when I'm walking around, or we're on a sightseeing or touring or on a beach. I'll take a dab of sunscreen and put it on the front of my nose because I know that's the most forward thing. Getting sun. I'm protecting my head with a hat and the rest of my body just with clothing. I would rather do that than put like smelly SPF 50, 70, 90 things all over my porcelain skin. That's just me. I don't get Joyce, she in the middle of winter, she will just put sunscreen on everywhere to be careful. And her skin, she's in her mid 50s. She looks like she's late 30s because, well, maybe because, except actually you got pretty, your whole body is still pretty
Oh, thank you, honey.
bitching and
That's
collagen-y
very sweet of you.
and soft and whatever. And you don't put SPF over all that. So I'm not
This
sure.
little teeny chicky bird, look at, he's a little tiny bird, David, he's this big.
In a tree?
Yeah, there's a nest there.
Oh yeah, we have a bird outside here.
Him hopping right there, look.
I can never see it.
You'll see him hopping, see?
Oh wait, I think that's.
See the tail?
Oh, we do.
Look how cute he is.
Oh, yeah, there he goes.
They're all coming back.
Oh, he's sweet.
Yeah, they're tiny.
I don't know what
they
that-
are, but that's their nest. Yeah, they're tiny.
Oh, he's very sweet. Anyway, it is 11:45 Eastern time here in the Daverhood. Yeah, that was kind of Dave's big dick secretary, where I talked about the idea of pyrolysis, of heat changing or acting upon something. So I guess the next time we're in bed, I get hot. You just point to me and go, hey, pyrolysis. And I'm like, yeah, turn over. But anywho, we have more show for you. We've got Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where we're going to Animas Forks, Colorado. But before we do, we got to do some thank yous. We've got to do some shout outs to folks who have been on this program in the months and years past. We call them friends of the Daverhood. We feel like they're family. They're friends of ours now because they've been on the show, whether they've been interviewed by me or Rabbi Saul Solomon or who, well, be one of us, or Peter Fitzgerald, who hasn't been on the show in a long time. But we give shout outs to them, and we're like, hey, what have they been up to since they've been on the program? Now we have a brand new friend of the Daverhood, the lovely and talented Marissa Mulder, whom you can visit at marissamulder.com.
Honey,
Yeah.
Art Paul's asking, where is there a good coffee house or art gallery that might let me have an art show in Milwaukee, Madison, the Midwest, New York?
Yeah, New York. Yeah, there's a place right outside the Whitney.
Yeah, I think he's looking for places.
I do like some of his paintings, though, I've got to say.
Maybe you could,
But anyway, friends of the Daverhood, folks who've been on the show. For example, Marissa Mulder, who's going to be at Don't Tell Mama Thursday, January 25th. So go see her, for gosh sake. She's going to be singing songs of strong women, people, and modern writers like, she mentions Carole King, but even more modern than that, Joni Mitchell, even more modern than that, Taylor Swift, Amy Winehouse, who are some of the other folks that she mentioned, Pink, she's doing a song from. So check it out. It's cabaret in kind of a newer fashion than you might think. It's at Don't Tell Mama over on West 46th Street, and it's happening on Thursday night, January 25th. Plus, you can get her album, Tom Waits in His Words, in all the usual places that you can get albums. So thank you and welcome to the Daverhood, the lovely and talented Marissa Mulder, our new friend. We have some other friends that we want to remind you of what they're up to. Take it away, Wolfgang. Little background music. Well, it goes from little to none. That's just right. I don't even know if it's playing in the back, but we'll try it. Anyway.
I could listen, but it would be weird because I'm writing this.
Yeah, then
down.
we get feedback. It'd be, yeah, I hear it in the background. Yeah, I'll try and figure it out. There's always something. I get the website figured out. I get all our old shows up in better quality now on davesgoneby.com, and then now the live show has a problem. What? Wow. That no, you know what that is?
Rock over London, yeah.
Rock on Chicago. It's a shout out to Wesley Willis.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's good. Joyce is scrolling through Facebook and finding things.
No, it says you're. I'm making sure if anybody's writing or doing anything.
Is anybody writing to me? Please write to me.
I'm checking.
But here's the deal. Want to let you know and give congratulations to broadcaster Troy Coverdale. Now he was on KFKA out in northern Colorado for a bunch of years. He was the voice of the terrible football team, the UNC Bears, the football team from the University of Northern Colorado. But he was an excellent sportscaster with a really, really good voice. Well, he is now the morning newsman at Kansas's KMAN Radio, 1350 kman.com. So tune in and listen to Troy Coverdale, because I remember he was kind of bumped off the station for whatever reason, and was kind of wandering in the desert, if you will, wondering whether to go back to his home state of Kansas. So he obviously made that decision, and he picked up a good gig, a morning gig, at a news radio station, 1350 KMAN. So congratulations to Troy Coverdale. Yeah. Want to let you know that, speaking of cabaret and theater, Jessica Malasky is going to be in a musical called The Connector. It's a Jason Robert Brown musical that they're doing at Manhattan Class Company off Broadway. It is starting, it started yesterday, and it's running through February 18th off Broadway. So check it out, Jessica Malasky in The Connector. Tony Trishka, the folk, we were talking about folk people before. He is going to be at City Winery on the 19th this week. So go see him. And that same night, and we should go see this, at the Lyric Theater in Baltimore, because this show emanates from Baltimore County, Tom Papa, the comedian, very delightful and funny man, he's going to be on January 19th at the Lyric Theater in Baltimore. Now going back to New York, starting on the 19th and running through the 29th of January, it's two of our friends, Julie Halston and Anne Harada, are among the rotating cast members of a show called Fair is Foul. It's part of the Women on Fire series at the new Royal Family Performing Arts Space over at 145 West 46th Street. So that has been a bunch of different theaters, and now it's called this Royal Family Company has taken it over. And they've got some good names there, Julie Halston and Anne Harada, performing in Fair is Foul. Playing now through the 26th of January, a play by Mike Lemmy. We interviewed him when he was taking part in one of the Fringe festivals. Now he's got a play up called Before the Drugs Kick In, being done at the Court Square Theater in Long Island City, over on 23rd Street in LIC. On Broadway, J.O. Sanders is in Purley Victorious. That is at the Music Box Theater, playing now through early February. Playing now through late February, it's a revival of Tennessee Williams' play The Night of the Iguana, featuring our friend Daphne Rubin Vega, and directed by
Austin Pendleton.
Austin Pendleton alert. So definitely go see it. It's gotten pretty mixed reviews, but you probably want to see for yourself. It's Night of the Iguana at the Signature Theater over on West 42nd Street and like 9th or 10th Avenue there. Lilias White is on Broadway in Hadestown at the Walter Kerr. Stuart Zagnett is in Harmony at the Ethel Barrymore Theater over on West 47th Street. And of course, Alan Menken's music is heard in both Aladdin on Broadway and Little Shop of Horrors off Broadway. On Tuesday nights, go see Seth Bisson-Hirsch's Seth's Talent Show at Don't Tell Mama. Remember, we're talking about Don't Tell Mama. And then Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks, they play Birdland.
Look at
twice on Monday nights.
Your language.
Oh my God. Oh, you know what that was?
What?
When we started the show last time,
Yeah.
I was playing the Smormoo dance.
Yeah, but it's like taka. I don't look at his hand.
Yeah, it's digga 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 digga. That was what's playing in the background.
Dirty taka, ada taka,
And that was me probably going, and let's see. Jim Caruso's Cast Party every Monday night at Birdland. Go to birdlandjazz.com for tickets. And remember that our great friend Evan Seplow is the editor and founder of StageBuddy.com, and that David Sheward is a theater critic for TotalTheater.com, CulturalDaily.com, and TheaterLife.com. Leslie Hoban Blake, she co-hosts a show called Two on the Aisle with Charlie Gross, where they review theater, and you can watch that right on their YouTube channel of Two on the Aisle and Charlie Gross. And a shout out, of course, to Vicky Quaddy, our friend in Chicago, who does Late Night Catechism.
Oh, Marie just got her computer to give her better sound.
Who? Really? Oh, so okay. I guess people can hear me.
Yes.
I don't have to talk like this.
You don't have to yell anymore. You can don't have to yell.
But anyway, a shout out to Vicky Quaddy out there in Chicago. Go see her shows at the Greenhouse Theater.
Yes, I dog. Yes, I dog.
And we're hoping that next week we will have a quiz again. So Leslie's going to write some questions. We hope to have Leslie and David, maybe Vicky, and our guest in the Daverhood. Next week, since we're talking about friends of the Daverhood, someone who hasn't been on the show in about 15 years. I wanted him to be on our New Year's program, but he didn't see my message until after the New Year was over. But he's my cousin David.
Oh,
David Levine, remember
man.
David and Mary?
Lovely man.
Yeah. So David, he got in touch and he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry I missed your New Year's show." It's like, come on my birthday show. Because
It could be David squared.
Yes,
David
double
to David,
Daves.
yeah.
I did triple double Dave you.
Wow.
Yeah. So David Levine, he'll be sticking around to play the quiz on next Saturday's episode of the show, which is the Saturday just before my 60th birthday. Looking pretty good, huh? Well, as good as I'll ever look. But yeah, so I'm very, very excited about that. He's an old friend of the Daverhood, and then coming soon, well, I can't say it yet, but we're trying to get a writer that I know on the show that we were just talking about earlier. Anyway, those, my friends, are the friends of the Daverhood. Can you believe? Well, let me pop down the music, but where is it? Can you believe, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, there I am right now. Yeah, that it's almost noon already. We've actually done a full 3 hours today. That won't be happening when I start teaching again in 2 weeks. Or at that point, it's like, hey, an hour and a half, show's over, bye, got a grade, you know. But while I can, I'm making hay while the sun shines. And so we do have one more item to do for you on this episode of Dave's Gone By. It is the Colorado Limerick of the Damned. I apologize. It's been a wonderful show, hasn't it? We've had so much fun. Joyce is making the angry pig squeak. Yes. And we'll have Pooey making an appearance. There we go. Wow. Piggy's on it today. What kind of life do I live? So, we lived in Colorado for about 13 years. Joyce and I we were teaching there or whatever. And I got it into my head because Colorado is just a beautiful state, and even though we didn't really see that much of it, we only saw about 6 towns while we were in the whole state for a decade.
I went to Gunnison. I went to like a bunch of towns in the mountains.
Yeah, I mean, we drove through a couple places. I saw Fort Collins, Boulder, Evans, Greeley.
I went to Crested Butte.
Yeah.
I was in Crested Butte for
When were you in Crested Butte?
For yoga training it, because Crested Butte, there's a real mountain.
Yeah, I went to Red Rocks. I did see Red Rocks, which is in Morrison, Colorado.
We were in Denver.
Yeah.
We were in. We went to Wyoming to the America's.
That's another state.
America's Best.
Yeah, Cheyenne is close. We were about an hour drive to Cheyenne. But
Loveland. We went to
Loveland. Fair enough, we did see
Yeah.
Loveland. So we saw about 10 states between
You
the two of
passed
us.
through, like,
Well, passing through. I went to Brush.
yeah.
I drove to Brush for a job interview, and so I hate Brush forever. It was a terrible town. Just
Do your
awful.
show, do your thing, honey.
All right, so anyway, but I got it into my head to do a poem about as many places in Colorado as I possibly could. Because I thought, oh, I can rhyme something funny with Vale, and I can rhyme something funny with Greeley and Morrison. Did I ever do Morrison? All right. Anywho, believe it or not, somehow I've come up with almost 300 of these. I'm still writing them for whatever godforsaken reason. I was doing these like 8 years ago already. But they do get more difficult, and it gets harder and harder to find towns that I either haven't written about or something that I can rhyme 3 times with. Because, a limerick is kind of first line rhymes, second line rhymes, last line rhymes with the first 2. So it's not easy with some of them, and some I'm still not ready to do or will never do. And some I kind of have to thumper and fake a little bit. But this one I think I did. And also the point is the poem should at least try to be amusing. And since it's a limerick and since it's me, it's also supposed to be risque and disgusting and horrible and evil. This one fits. We're going to Animas Forks, Colorado. Animas, A-N-I-M-A-S, like Animas. Animas Forks, Colorado, for our Colorado limerick of the damned.
You're the poetry man.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 would end with words that rhyme, and likewise verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick.
Rocky Mountain.
Thank you, Christine Lavin there. So here's a little bit about Animas Forks in Colorado. It's now a ghost town, basically completely 2 miles high in the San Juan Mountains, part of what they call the Alpine Loop that people travel around as tourists. The town was originally called 3 Forks of the Animas when prospectors built cabins there back in 1873. And as soon as the miners came and the prospectors came, it really boomed. Like by the 1880s, it was bustling. It even had its own newspaper,
Wow.
the Animas Forks Pioneer. Love to get a copy of that. They also had a 25-foot snowstorm in 1884. And they write about this in Wiki in a couple of places that, can you imagine, like, not a foot, to more than 2-foot snowstorm where residents, to get from one building to another, tunneled. It wasn't even shovel, they just tunneled in like Eskimos. However, by the 1890s, mining petered out, even though a railroad started coming through there. It didn't really help that much. And now it's the kind of town that doesn't even have paved roads heading to it. It's all dirt roads and going up this mountain. So I wouldn't dare.
What's the population?
I don't know if it has one. It doesn't even, I forgot to look, but I didn't even see one.
I don't want to move. I'm watching you on the TV.
It's literally a ghost town. But it is on the National Register of Historic Places. So they're, because these buildings that the miners built in the 18th century,
they're still there.
they've gone in, they've had the money to fortify the structures.
Oh, wow.
And so I don't know how many tourists come up there and do it, but they do it in all-wheel vehicles, I assume.
I hope, yeah.
Don't know how they do it. So that's some interesting information about Animas Forks, Colorado. And now I'm going to follow that up with a reprehensible poem about Animas Forks, Colorado, our Colorado limerick of the damned. Don't bother with Animas Forks, a town that's just teeming with dorks. Those tedious nerds use $5 words and plug up their assholes with corks. Please send your comments and complaints to davesgoneby@aol.com, davesgoneby@aol.com. That has been long my email address. I haven't changed it. So if you want to reach me, that's a good way to do it. Or feel free to post on Facebook, under the show, or message me on Facebook. I can get a message if you have Facebook. So either way, davesgoneby@AOL.com or post on Facebook. Would love to hear from you. I might just have the time to give you a thumbs up, or maybe not even acknowledge, but I do try and read everything that I get. What else? I have a Twitter feed. It's Radio Dave 2, Radio Dave the number 2, and David.Lefkowitz is my Instagram page. Basically, Instagram and Twitter have the same stuff that I put on Facebook. I just, trying to find a different audience. I get it out there. We also have a YouTube channel, Dave's Gone By. But the main thing is to stay in touch and know about the show from our website, which is davesgoneby.com. Honest to gosh, every show that we've ever done, except a couple that were lost to technical difficulties, every show is saved. Every show is available. The first 15 years of the program were audio only. It was a radio show. And you can listen to them at any time for free by going to davesgoneby.com and use the search bar to find if you're looking for a particular celebrity that you want to hear the interview of. For example, by tomorrow, I hope, we'll have this show up. And if you want to say, hey, Marissa Mulder talking to Rabbi Sal Solomon was really cool, you got to see it. So tell your friend, find it, there it is, she'll come right up. And we also have our archives at archive.org, a not-for-profit website devoted to rescuing and saving literature and the arts and writing, TV shows, radio shows from the golden age. If it's public domain or nearly so, they try and put it on archive.org, and we have a whole channel there of our audio and video, archive.org. We also have our audio archives at castbox.fm. So if you're on the go and you want to hear the show, you don't have to see it. That's a great way because it's a podcast. It's archive.org for every episode of Dave's Gone By. As I said, we also have the YouTube channel. And then one more bit of information. Remember that my own other website, davelefkowitz.org, is a place to read my stuff. This is not radio show stuff. This is funny essays that I've written, one-act plays, full-length plays, reviews of dozens and dozens and dozens of shows. I was a Broadway and off-Broadway theater critic since the late 1980s. If you're curious about the things that I wrote about, go to davelefkowitz.org. My song lyrics are there, lots and lots of stuff. Just go surfing through this free website. So instead of having to go to Barnes & Noble and buy an omnibus edition of the writings of Dave Lefkowitz, it's free, be cheap. Go to davelefkowitz.org. It'll be there too. Anyway, main thing is keep checking Facebook during the week to know what's happening next, as well as davesgoneby.com, and realize that, yes, we will be here, good Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise, next Saturday morning, January 20th, from 9 a.m. until noonish or thereabouts, for the 927th episode of the show. Well, as I said, my guest will be my cousin, David Levine, coming back into the Daverhood, so that'll be fun. And maybe some other folks playing the quiz too, like David and Leslie or Vicky. We'll see about that. But put it here, check the website, check Facebook, this Facebook page, for what's going to be happening in the days and months ahead on Dave's Gone By. Hun, we've covered so much today. Is there anything we haven't covered?
No, you look great. Look at yourself.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm looking kind of spit. Oh, I totally forgot.
What?
Did you like my Colorado Limerick of Damned?
I'm traumatized.
Traumatized by it, but well, amazingly enough, someone else did a limerick of Animas Forks, trying to do their own Colorado Limerick of the Damned. Mr. Blobby. So I've written it here. I want to read the. This is the Mr. Blobby Colorado Limerick of the Blobbed. Here we go. For Animas Forks, Colorado. Blobby, 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 Animas Forks. Blobby, 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 blobby. Blobby, blobby, blobby. Blobby, blobby, blobby. Blobby, 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 corks. What did you think? Better, or worse than mine?
Offensive.
Better than. Okay. Anyway, that is my wonderful wife, Joyce. Thank you so much for all you bring to my life, and of course to this show as well. Thank you all for listening and watching and telling other people about this program and sharing it with folks, because that's how we get more audiences and you know, how I can do this week after week without blowing my brains out. Anywho, have a fine week if you're still enduring storms and stuff. I mean, we have beautiful weather here now.
Marie's comment.
Yeah.
The guy in the sports store was in Alabama.
Yes.
So I couldn't understand. Marie said, "I got my computer to work, and I hear about a crazy guy in Alabama." I was like, I don't know what she was talking.
Yep.
I get it now. Yes.
Yeah, that was the guy in the fish tank.
Yes,
Right,
I get it. Yes.
Yeah. And by the way, Marie, tanks. At this point, I'm just fishing for compliments. But, I just cast that line out there. And I'm bobbing and weaving. All right, enough. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the 926th. Be here next week for the 927th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the Stream. Until then, don't miss your Dave's going by and gone by.
Days gone by, they're gone by. Days gone by, they're gone by. Days gone by, they're gone by.
Blobby, blobby, blobby. Blobby, blobby, blobby.